Hey guys, yeah, just reading this note on Apple. It's Bloomberg that is reporting this right now. Apple to wind down its electric car plans. Again, that's according to Bloomberg. To wind down electric car plans. Again, Bloomberg reporting that for Apple. So there was a move down real quick as we saw there with Sharif. So heads up on Apple. A couple other things. Happy afternoon, by the way. 2 hours to go here in what's turning into a pretty exciting day. A couple of things worth noting here. Just saw this one. SoundHound back to the upside right now through $7, testing that 725. It's been kind of choppy back and forth after the gap to the upside after a big couple of days for not only SoundHound, but that BBAI as well, Big Bear AI to the upside once again today. Cava, we didn't mention it this morning in the pre-market, but nice look on earnings. Beat for the restaurant operator. Nice move up to 58. Bit of a pullback right now, back to 56. Still 11% for CAVA. Pretty mixed board. Once again, strength coming from banks again today. I saw a really good podcast yesterday afternoon with the CTO of Netflix. Very interesting environment, work setting is Netflix, according to her. AMD, QCOM to the upside as well. Everything else pretty red on this board, right across the entire thing. Market trying to bounce right now. Apple shares maybe not necessarily helping in that. Again, if you're just joining and missed that, Bloomberg reporting, guys, that Apple is set to wind down its electric vehicle car plans. There's been all kinds of speculation and all kinds of rumors over the past couple of years as to who they were going to team up with, what they were going to do as far as the actual design is concerned. So again, Bloomberg reporting here, guys, that Apple no longer in the EV or planning to get into the EV car business.
All right, so we hadn't made, thank you, Brenda. We hadn't made any trades on Apple at all until we shorted literally the top. Come over here if you can, Ms. Ramin. There it is right there, 181.20. So let's go. There it is right there, real quick. You never know. This is why we're here every single day. You don't know what this market has in store for you, and that was a good example right here, right now. Apple was just sitting here. Me and Neil were like, oh, look at that. It looks like it's going to, break that 180, and Sharif was talking about it as well. All right, we just covered more right there at 60. I'm going to pull this and see what happens right now. But again, interesting headline. I guess now we think about them focusing more on, their other service models that have been really working out here and not get into the failing EV market.
Improve the headset.
Why?
Bring the price down, yeah.
Yeah, why would you get into a business that might be the worst one right now, honestly? Like, just focus on what you're doing the best. They're killing it everywhere else. I think this is a huge benefit here for Apple.
You know what else?
Congratulations.
They're always the best at doing it when it's already working, jumping in and doing it better. So they're just going to wait until EV looks better, and then at that point they'll probably re-engage and then still.
Yeah, exactly.
Just sipping my tea there, but. Look, this ended up being a sympathy play. I was saying in the chat I was looking for a long in Alphabet because that was super strong. This breakout happened on the Apple move, essentially. Like, Apple brought the market up, so I just took this local breakout on Alphabet above VWAP, which is different from some of the other, I almost said EV, Mag 7 names. A lot of things have been weak today. I'm still short Amazon and AMD and Intel from earlier. The only long positions are Unity and Google. And Google was just a clear breakout here. I had 20 cents worth of risk. It's already up at the 50s, which is close to that high of the day. I feel like if we're not punching through the next level on the futures, I should take some out there. So from not a ton happening, Google doing nothing, Apple cresting off that 180, now all of a sudden you're getting some action, and we're only 5 minutes after 2 o'clock getting into the moves here. So go ahead.
No, ARM, we're just $2 in the money. Like, there's a lot of things moving around here right now, like all of a sudden instantly moving around. $2 in the money on NVIDIA, and we just shorted ARM right here at 140 again. So now look at this move back in. We're just in this new ARM position here. This is going to be hopefully a very, very exciting afternoon. Started all by Apple. We are out of 80% of our Apple trade. What's up, Brando?
On this Apple story, guys, Bloomberg now reporting that they've shifted that team to generative AI work and focus. So again, canceling work on their electric car and shifting that team to generative AI work and focus, guys.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm just chuckling because where else would you be putting them? right? So the level to play off of 180, 181 and turn 180. If we get back down in there, it bounced off that level one time. These wicks are bad. It never broke the 180 level. I know the news hit, but really it's held a bit at the 180. So I still think that can be worked as a little bit of a long off the 180 level for Apple. But hey, is anybody surprised? Where else are you going to put people? It was either going to be back into the VR play or it was going to be into generative AI, which is where it seems like all the extra bodies are going for some of these big cap tech names. So I got the eyeballs on Google for myself because that just started breaking out. If it pulls back into the quarters, I might go for a reload. I'd just like to see some strength before I reloaded that one. The difference here is the NASDAQ is flat, Apple's down, Alphabet's up. So like Apple's got the news. Remember, it was weak pretty much all day long. I just would still rather be long something that was showing me strength. It would have to break out that 181. Then I'd think about joining that bad boy.
All right. We just got, so we're bidding 137 flat there on ARM. It got to 137.30. So I think about putting something on the downside there for ARM as well. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting close for sure. We're almost out of everything on Apple. We just tweeted it out. That gave us that in right up there. We waited for it to turn a little bit, hit it. Then there's the downside push. We got some out of the 200 period. Let's see if Apple fails in. I mean, we're going to stick with some of these trades here. I still want to throw up a little bit about coin. We got out at 201 here for $8 right there. Then it did this down to 192 as we continue to watch out crypto here, 57,000 in holding. So
get what you get,
yeah,
and don't get upset.
And don't get upset. That's literally a very famous saying in my house. And then they just get everything anyways. So 138 to the downside right now coming through on ARM. Big trade alert right here.
All right, let's talk crypto. We were discussing Bitcoin through 57,000 and then some early on this morning. All these related equities to the upside in a pretty big way as a result. Huge day yesterday for Coinbase to the upside. I mean, all of them look like this. Mara, even Robinhood benefiting as well. If you jump over to Hood on this refreshed optimism for crypto.
Yeah, and MicroStrategies, Brendo, getting a big upgrade this morning and moving up aggressively as well. Coin, you saw the Sean in that as well. It's been a great look. I have really not much else to say other than MicroStrategies added about another 3,000 Bitcoins to their portfolio at about $52,000 each.
BITO 27 right now, trying to break. There's some volume coming in as well. It looks like Hood trying to get back to day highs here also, guys. So still showing all kinds of strength.
Robinhood?
He did say Robinhood.
Oh my goodness.
What's it doing?
No, you know what? I had not looked at this stock today, and I feel like that's much to my chagrin. I didn't.
Get down.
That's frustrating. This doesn't matter now, but Robinhood, this could be a bit of a break. Look at the dip right into yesterday's close. I didn't realize this came. It was so strong the last few days. I didn't realize this had dipped right into 15.5 and could be breaking out 16. If we're going back over to, because the topic is crypto, so let's.
Right.
Quick little second. I was all over one area for Mara short and basically just kept. I had like four cuts in there on Mara. It's like crazy. I lose on Mara like 3.5 times because one of them I did get a decent profit take, all in the same 50-cent cluster, and then the short ends up working. So I'm slapping the fail on myself for that one, but I'm not on the right page. There we go. You try to keep it in the pocket, so like one trade on Amazon was worth more, but I still think underneath the 31, this feels like a bit of a short. If you're tracking what's going on BTC, you're still playing off of those highs, but we're over the 57,000 level. What just came in there? Okay, Intel's starting to come. Yeah, no, AMD, sorry. I'm like, I didn't get a fill on Intel. It was AMD. AMD starting to come right back in. Been shorting off this 177.5 on AMD, and then getting out in front of VWAP as we are starting to roll back into the downside.
Yeah, well, this is good. This is real good. Real good. Okay, so What are we talking about? BTC? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this was a good trade today. We wrote down Coinbase on the sticky note. If you guys were with us earlier, it's 210. If you don't believe it, go over to @TraderTV Sean and find it. It's right there. It's 210. It's on Coinbase. It's right there. Coinbase 210 earlier on. Wow, we couldn't believe the move that BTC was having. But then when I just went there, it was just simple stuff, man. Not math, not anything. To me, common sense. Coinbase had a huge move yesterday, and it's just kind of like, okay, you're going to be up today again and trying to break out. Like it didn't seem like crypto wanted to break through. Now it almost did. I mean, this trade almost didn't happen because if we get stopped out, we get stopped out. We gave ourselves $1 worth of room. We're short at 209.50. Our first take is 208.50. That's $1. Then we took $4, and then we wind up taking 850 there for the short on Coinbase. So again, monster trade alert. It's Coinbase. It was early, and we'll see if we can do it again. I still like the short on Coinbase immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy low, sell high. Let's talk about Zoom here. Ends up being pretty good fade. A lot of the optimism maybe coming from this. The earnings, $1.5 billion repurchase program for Zoom announced. The earnings better than expected, but not overly positive.
Yeah, and Brenda, it was an interesting look here. I mean, the reported net income of around $300 million compared with a loss of $104 million last year. So not a bad look. The revenue continues to increase about 3% year over year, and the guidance is not bad. They're looking for $1.18 to $1.20 EPS. The street was looking for $1.13, so coming in above the guide. Good look.
Yeah, still pretty good day overall, 6.7%. Trying to hold higher at least, guys, for Zoom.
So look, didn't trade any Zoom today, and you know sometimes the trade you don't make is the best trade. Let's think of it that way. But it doesn't have, if it doesn't set up, you don't have to do it. Like I wanted Zoom, like it doesn't seem crazy. Like I wanted Zoom breaking out at 71.5, which seems obvious when you look at where this thing was on the daily chart. Like if it was breaking in the open market above 71.5, I thought there was continuation because it was a depressed name. We've seen some of these things go. But what happened on Zoom? It just flushed all pre-market. By the open, it was well underneath 70 bucks. So if I just said, oh, I was looking for a long, the long I wanted didn't happen, let me just go for some other long, maybe I would have caught a bottom at 65. That's a huge maybe. But you've got to stay away from things that don't set up. I know it's an earnings play, and I know it moves, and it's got a great range on it. Like you had $4 range in the first hour on a $70 stock. That's great. But my setup was a breakout through 71.5, and if I'd been looking short, I probably would have been looking short off 71.5. So no trade for me on Zoom. But very quickly here, Alibaba just came into VWAP. I had the breakout at 78, and in the afternoon, I don't like breakout trades. I like dip buys. So when it failed at 78 again, I bought the dip into VWAP, which should be a theme in the afternoons, as you guys are all aware of. So bounce off VWAP here, just got some out 75s, looking to take some out in front of 78 as well on Alibaba. So second trade of the day for me there. But no Zoom. I think you look at that one, day 2, day 3, it should remain in play, but nothing for me today.
Yeah, we should have probably put Roku on there. Roku, $64. This is one, again, another top name for me. We don't have any mistakes on this one. Short 64 a couple times. Our best out is 63 basically at VWAP. It's been a good short for Roku today. Really a nothing move. They had a downgrade, and I said if they break 60, this could really get interesting, but we didn't break 60. So interesting still, but not that interesting. So we'll wait for Roku. Good trade. Again, it's a sticky note name at 64. So when it came up there, we took it, and it was a good one. It happened relatively early. I don't really want it anymore. We've sort of made our decisions here on some of the stuff that we're going to be looking at.
All right, just noticed Unity trying to get going here once again. Another one we were dealing with this morning. Huge gap to the downside off their report after the close yesterday. Pretty ugly. 30 ends up being a shelf here during the midday. Starting to curl back to the upside here for Unity again.
Yeah, it was the guide here, Brendo, that sent this one to the downside, not meeting the street's expectations, even though they were able to narrow the loss here to 254 million from 288 this time last year. They also grew revenue 35% to about 450 million. Again, like I said, the guide comes in light, 415 to 420 million. They're guiding. Their street was looking for something around 534, so really light there. They also continue to cut costs.
Man, Apple's still going here, guys. Back to almost day highs. I was just saying to Sharif, can you Can you cancel a project you never confirmed you were doing in the first place?
Of course you can. Everybody knew they were doing it. It's like, what difference does it make?
Kind of feel like we've done that a couple times around here, to be honest with you.
It's not untrue, dude. It's not untrue. But that's the thing, like you work.
Good move. It's a good move.
No, it's true, but like you work on things in the background, right, that are ideas, and you don't know for sure whether what's going to come to fruition, so you don't want to make any big announcements about it. But then you might decide that, hey, this is not the right time for it. Time can be spent, or money can be spent, and time better elsewhere. In the particular case of Apple, maybe that's going to be an AI, which they're probably already going to knock out of the park anyways. We know that's going to, the announcement expected when they have their mid-year event. But Unity, just very quickly, I just got out of the long in Unity, but I took the hit on the short. I like the short off of the 31 level much better than I like the long. So we had the consolidation short, it broke it out, took the hit, and then the next available trade was the scalp trade off of VWAP. There's one bounce VWAP. There's the second bounce, so double bottom at VWAP. Higher low, I jumped in the higher low at 30s. It played back into 30-30, reloaded in front of 30, back to 30-30, and then right into the 31 level. If I thought 31 was a short before, then in a long, I'm probably getting out in front of it. So I'll slap the L on Unity because I could have been on the back end of it. We talk about the front end and the back end. On a squeeze name, sometimes it can, this wick here did not get to 33. This wick here was a rejection of the 30 level. So it did stall out and do a pullback where I was playing off of that high. However, this is a much more parabolic entry. If I'm not stopping out there, I could be getting in over here. So it could have been handled a little bit better. We get something back on it by sort of admitting the mistake and taking a strong stock long. I know it's down 7%, but it's up 6% since the open. So that does make it a relatively strong stock if you're talking about the trading day, which as a day trader, you're a little bit more concerned about oftentimes. Can't say that enough. I find you do want to have an idea of not just where the stock was based on, or is based on yesterday's close. Sometimes when you're momentum trading, you want to have an idea of the percentage gain since the open, which is over 6% here on Unity, despite the bad guide.
All right, I think I'm just going to take, it's too bad because we just missed, yeah, the market's off right now. It's too bad because we just missed that bid on ARM. It came back in under 138 again. We had a bid at 80, really, and it missed it right there. So Tesla right now probably heading back up to the upside, yeah. So here goes Tesla again. They basically eliminate competition without doing anything. So nice move right there. We'll see what Tesla's going to talk about here as they've already, Apple, like we said, they don't want to get into a business where no one can make money, but there is somebody that's actually making money. So eliminating competition by just existing is Tesla today. So nice little move to the upside there. We just
AMD just broke.
Would like ARM to get going. Yeah, so we have AMD still. AMD's a big one today. We talked about getting hurt early, but we made some back shorting these tops. But here we go, man. It looks like, and we're not. We will reload. Oh man, NVIDIA, I gotta have another look at this. I was gonna reload some NVIDIA right around here, 93s. Yeah, so I do have an offer there. It looks like we just got missed, but we're here at 93 to reload that and then see about taking out the top. But again, I think this is another pretty good tailwind here for chips because, putting more effort into AI, I mean, more AI, they like that here. So
know what that means.
Yeah, good move there. More money for probably these guys. All right, Apple, there it goes, man. Starting to go. We took the long. We said enough was enough. Now we're in the money nicely. Another 40-cent winner there for Apple on the long. So we hit it long, we hit it short. That's what we do over here on Apple.
Before we go back, Terper in the chat
Boom.
just asked at what level would you consider investing in Tesla for the medium-term trade? Well, I bought some Tesla last year on dips, and I bought again recently. The money that I was like, either I am putting this money into buying more Rivian on a shot play, or I'm keeping it in the EV space. I think the obvious answer to that, if it's not obvious, I put that money into Tesla because I always want the money in the market. If I want it in EVs, then I'm leaving it in Tesla. So I actually just recently bought some off the 190 level as well. So to me, it's like almost more like a DCA. I think it's the buying opportunity on the weakness to try to go higher. Let's go back to the desk because, hey, look at that. Meta and AI. A lot of AI today.
Just reading more on this Apple story as well. I had no idea it was at this scale, but 2,000 employees. 2,000 employees were working on this. Most of which will be shifted to the AI division under the executive running that. Those employees will focus on generative AI. The Apple Car team has also several hundred hardware engineers and car designers. It's possible that they will be able to apply for jobs on other Apple projects. It says layoffs will come, but it's unclear how many. So yeah, that's much larger than I thought it would have been. Anyway, Meta to the upside on this as well. The overall market, I guess, dragging this higher. We were talking about multiple different AI angles here this morning.
Yeah, Zuckerberg in Asia meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister and said to be possibly meeting with the South Korean Prime Minister. There he'll be looking also to meet with the execs at Samsung who make chips, and specifically what he wants from them is AI chips to power his next gen of products. So we'll have to wait and see what kind of deals come from this meeting, Brendo, but good luck.
The Apple, yeah, taking the whole market on its back, I guess, right now.
Long in Apple.
I mean, we have, yeah, we just made 40 cents long. We made 50, 60 cents short. I mean, it's been a good one. We got out of half right there. If this falls back in, we could possibly try it, but we're just back to 18,000. So obviously this is great news for Apple apparently, but you know, we're still at a key level. We made it all the way back to 18,000. Let's see if it can hold or not. We're still in this arm short. We just took some more here. The Qs were such a monster trade as well today for me. Boom, all the way to the downside. Obviously, we didn't have that very bottom at 35. That would have been pretty sweet. But again, short, we got stopped out there, re-shorted under the 200, re-shorted on that move up. Well taken, and we're going to take another short here. As we see about making, hopefully we can, I mean, that's almost a higher high there, but we'll hold out. We do have our targets right where we got stopped. So we'll take some more position short here on the triple Qs. But yeah, Meta was good until not. Right now, it just started breaking. So we hit Meta short, We tried it again here at 484, got out, then just again here at 485. So yeah, we shorted the market again. I like it here, but Meta was a little bit of a misstep. Here we go. Nice little pushback, hopefully in the Qs. Watch out for like 437. We'll put a bid there, and then hopefully we'll get a little bit lower off some of these prints. So starting to look short again here in the market.
Yeah, that 18,000, it's like you get above there by a few points and, you know, we start waffling a little bit. I just reloaded on Amazon. I'll get to that in a quick second. I did have Meta off of yesterday's high. The first trade was the best 186 down into 83. Tried a couple of scalp trades at different levels. It didn't quite push enough there. Like I felt just now we were going to get a little closer to the 86 to try and reload that short. Instead, I went back over to Amazon. Amazon, if you can't tell, is a little bit weaker than some of the other Mag 7 names. Like it actually broke a flat bottom and is putting in lower highs. VWAP is all the way up at 173.90 there. There we go. So I already had a couple of shorts. First was the breakdown. We talked about the flat bottom break, then the reload 173.3, now 173.50 looks like a local bottom as well. So I'm back into Amazon to the south side. If we fail 18,000, I know I like this one short. 100%. It's just down 0.7 into a market which just went green again. Tells you all we need to know. I'm starting to think, why not go for the dip buy? I mean, I don't think maybe we don't get VWAP on Apple. Yeah, maybe cancel that. Local high is 181.50. Maybe a dip into 181.50. Look for a bounce there first, and then if it does fall all the way back to 181, I'd be down for that. And then the other name in the Mag 7, because we're talking about them, Google just got to its pre-market high, so I'm trailing this one. That was the breakout 138.20. If it cannot hold on to the opening range top, which was the 60s, I'll jump out of it. More of an afternoon scalp trade. If it wasn't for 18,000, I'd believe more in the top here. But if we fail 18,000, Google should be back at VWAP.
Yeah. Okay, fine. We'll take $1.70 on ARM. We just take that right there on ARM. So that's a nice little take there. We were going to wait for a bottom break, but we'll take some more out there on ARM. So, okay, let's go back over and talk about Macy's.
Some retail, yeah. Bottom of the list, we had Macy's after earnings this morning. Not great, but I wanted to show this. XRT having quite the day here. Back to basically highs right now, a little bit of a consolidation. Lowe's, another one that was out this morning with earnings as well before the bell today.
Yeah, an interesting look here, Brendo. I mean, they swung a loss of around $71 million. This time last year, they made about $508 million. They also missed on the top line, so revenue was below expectations, but they plan on fixing a little bit of that. They're looking at closing about 150 stores that are unproductive under the Macy's brand, and they're looking at opening about 30 stores under their Bloomingdale's brand, which is Blue Mercury and Bloomingdale's, which is their more expensive, higher end brand, Brendo. And I should also mention that they've been facing some takeover bids here from Arc House Management and Brigade Capital, who are trying to get activist investors on their board.
Yeah, it was a wild, volatile day for both of these when all is said and done. But nicely positive. Lowe's 1.3%. Macy's more than 3 right now.
Yeah, and look, Macy's with the early conference call, it was basically one trade. We talk about on earnings, you want things breaking into new ranges, and that was the extent of anything I was saying about this stock. Was if it's not breaking up above 1950 or beneath 1850, maybe you should sit it out. What do you think happened? Right at the open, it broke out the 1950, and that was pretty much all she wrote. And now, clearly, we were involved in a bunch of other names at the time, going to prioritize what we do. I don't think you want to jump out of your comfort zone, especially around earnings season. But the second this was in that new trading range above the 50 level, it was gonzo. And remember, Macy's does have a decent short float, 7.5%, not what it used to be. It looks to me like it's unwinding. Like this breakdown here at like 1980 could be a little bit spicy, but I'm shorting Amazon, so I'll stick to that. But Macy's, great breakout trade, and it does remind everybody when you're looking at those earnings plays, if it's trading in the same range it was the entire month before on earnings, it might not be worth your while until you see some action breaking in either direction. Then you can sink your teeth into something.
Okay, we've talked about the XRT many times before, and the XRT actually has a big holding in Carvana, so that's why it's probably up so much today. It seems like more than you think, because Carvana is still up at 17. Wow, we are really starting to print now, guys. All right, so ARM is making more lows right now as we speak. The Qs are coming in as well on that short of the futures right here. And then Apple is going up 2 highs. We are now 50 cents. Like, this is the crazy part. We're 50 cents in the money long Apple. We're $1 in the money short here on AMD. We're $1.70 in the money short on ARM. We are $1.20 in the money short on NVIDIA. And we just talked about the Qs. So, yeah, today, once again, hopefully a good one. I have nothing to talk about on Macy's. We did talk about Amazon liking that short, but not today. It was 175 or so for Amazon. You know, that's not there. And then Alibaba, we really like the long, so maybe on some dip buys here for Alibaba. But yeah, let's see how far ARM wants to go, man. It just keeps on bouncing off this 137. We can go. We're done the rundown, unless you want to go back.
No, we're done. We're done.
Okay, we're done. Okay, so all right, we can go back to them. Let's go back to them.
All right, it's been a great couple of days here on the midday. What do we got going tomorrow?
Fibonacci's, Brendo. So all my fib heads out there, make sure to hang out tomorrow. We're talking about market theories all week. We did Dow on Monday, Elliott waves today, and tomorrow we're doing Fibonacci's.
The rundown brought to you by our friends over at Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used by everyone you see on the show. See what's moving in the moment with Trade Ideas. Go to trade-ideas.com/TTV, or you can check out that QR code bottom right corner and get 20% off.
Amazing.
So you'll see now out of Alphabet, it just took out 138.60. And just, I'm pretty sure I corrected myself. Someone said we didn't get to the pre-market highs on Alphabet. The opening range top, if it got to a different level in the early market, it doesn't really matter. This print here above 138.75, that's a dark pool wick. So the actual top there was like 138.75. It got within pennies of that and then pull back in. So I'm now out of Alphabet. We'll see what happens with Amazon, and still in some intel, but that looks like it wants to break out as well. Just got to watch out for this market, which is now back above 18,000. Ooh, the shorts might be done today, and it's all because of Apple. Like, this all started with Apple, but above that 18,000, this was a trend down day. Like, all the money was made on shorts.
Yeah, and we made money long and short Apple, which is the craziest part about it all. So that's why I say, man, we come here every day and you don't know. Like we were in short Apple. I told you, out of 80%, our last piece out for flat once it breaks 181. And then we flipped long on that break right here of 181.70 or whatever this is. What am I long at? Yeah, 181.76. And now we're up in the money one more time on the long. So yeah, this has been fantastic. AMD continues to struggle downside. We're dollar in the money there. Let's see if there's anything happening with NVIDIA right now. The 793. So, I mean, we have, this Apple is about to be $1 long, by the way, which is great there. So 793 coming into play very, very soon. If NVIDIA gets back, I mean, we're waiting there. I'm surprised we never got a short. We were waiting at 94s. Like it went to 90s. It's crazy, but that's what happens when you're trading. So we would have loved to have more NVIDIA short there. We almost did and just missed it by a minute. So we'll have to go back into something else. Just trying to find more plays, right? Okay, here goes the Qs. So the Qs now starting to go. We are $1, and we're $1 plus now in the money on Apple. We're $1.20 here as we look at this move on Apple. Boom, huge move back there up to the upside. So that will stop us out of our last piece of the Qs. So we took a shot into that high there. No more, but Q's a good, nice positive story here today for me. But yeah, it's Apple, and it's leading the way long right now as we flipped it up at 181.50, and boom goes a dynamite. That's what we're talking about. 57,000 right now on Bitcoin as well. Wow, a fun day, fun day.
Yeah, the highs on Bitcoin are incoming as well. I jumped out on a consolidation of Google, and I might be jumping right back into it. We're back above 18,000. I said this morning I was only looking at longs above 18,000, but I did not want to be doing anything short until we broke underneath. So once we're underneath, that's all I was doing was shorting. If we end up getting trailed out, I'll jump back in. You lose about 5 or 6 cents of alpha in there, but if we break this consolidation down, I can jump out and still be up on Google. I just got out of Intel because that made a break higher off of the 70 level. Been shorting Intel pretty much all day. It's still weak, but I can wait for VWAP. I'm just going to wait around for VWAP to happen here, give myself a better entry, relatively weak name that only looks to get, as far as I'm concerned, worse. Like the market's screaming to the upside. This is a name I'll short no matter what. Unity, by the way, I got out of that one. It's cresting at 31. Still a decent chance it could break the highs and go for another squeeze play. But I'd rather be playing the dips here, next step to the upside. We'll see. We got 30 all the way to 30.80. Next play could be a 30.50 bounce play, looking for a dip buy to re-enter on Unity software.
All right, so Apple is still going, guys. So we're just probably going to sit here and just watch it continue to go. So here's the short right here that we had early. There's the out, there's the long, and this is what we're talking about right now. So it's a good one there for Apple. Let's just keep holding it and see how far we can get in on that one. We have a new position right here. We shorted. I'm not even touching. I'm not touching Apple. So we'll just let it go. But Oracle, we have a position here. I was going to go against this 50. We shorted this yesterday. I think it was almost $1 or something near the end of the day yesterday. But again, this is a little bit of a different story. Yesterday, Oracle was red against the market. Today, it's green against the market. I just want to see if there is a little bit of a fade move. There might not be. We could take out 111.50, so well worth it. 20 or so cents with slippage included in this name. Wow. Apple is really, man, like 183.50.
Squeezing.
This is sweet.
Is that Apple or is it Carvana right now, that chart?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's okay.
It's up $2. But
I'm exaggerating a little bit,
No,
but you know, it's because Apple hasn't been moving like this. That's the only reason I say that. Apple is not Carvana, but there's been so much pressure on Apple as one of the laggards of the Magnificent Seven. Well, actually, no. I mean, Tesla's the laggard of the Mag 7. But there's been so much talk about Apple being weak. And remember, it was bouncing off the 180 level, which has been massive support. So it is starting to get a bit parabolic. So remember we talked about a pullback in Unity? Well, it's happening right now. So look, I jumped out of it here, but it's basing out at that 31 level, looking for that first dip. If it holds on at 30.5, I'd like to see pullback. Hold in here somewhere, a little bit of a bounce. If it does this little shimmy to the side, then I want to jump into the long. Whatever. I'm saying shimmy way too much and it's Shreve's fault. But Unity still trend up. As long as it can put in another higher low, I'll look for the re-entry there. Amazon, But the only thing I am still short, and it's hanging on. Basically, as the market's going higher, it's been going sideways, which is good because as the market goes up, it's not going against me, but it needs some pressure to the downside here. We'll see what happens. It's in a nice consolidation. I don't see a reason to add to it here, but I will hang on. This market's probably too strong for this not to break higher. But if it breaks this consolidation, it's an easy out for me on Amazon.
Man, it's $2 now on Apple. Wow, this is really going, man. We are long right now. Look down below, man. We are long Apple 181.76 right now. Through 184 is Apple going, and it can get even a lot higher than this. We'll wait to see how high, though. As there it goes, it's going to push it. I think 185 is a great out. So if we can get anything close to 185, let's just put an offer upside there. I think that's going to be, that's a little crazy, but you know, we've seen funnier things happen. So we'll see if that does come into play now. All right, our Oracle position getting a little bit better, but still kind of meh, not doing a whole heck of a lot. What's my signal, Kane? As they say, what's up, Kane? All right, so you want to talk about it? Maybe 183? I mean, the thing is, it's such new news that I feel like you want to take some profit, obviously, if it comes back in. So, yeah, what about getting out on 183.20 break? You know what, Kane? I like your name, my guy. Let's try it. Let's just try to get out because you're right, man. What if this, I mean, not that you're right. You just asked me where to get out. But, you know, we don't have to be in this forever. We have our target upside. We're already in this trade. This is a day we're having. So let's just get out if it does break 183.20. Just right here. It's not... For me, I'm not doing too much work here, to be honest with you. Like, there's the break. It's probably right into there. So you break below. We've been sitting up here for 5 minutes. You know, the other thing is, too, I don't mind the short because we're short Oracle.
184 is the 200 period on the daily.
Yeah, so it just touched 184.
Well, it just touched that level. It's just, look, it's just a moving average. I'm just letting you know what might be sitting up there that can be important. Bearing bulls, why is Apple going up? Apple is canceling. Halting their car program, the EV program they had, and the 2,000 employees are moving on over to their AI division, their generative AI division. So that's the reason. This was the volume spike. It was cresting at the 180 level. It's been stair-stepped to the upside more or less ever since on Apple. So that's the news. Bitcoin just made a new high. Bye-bye, Bitcoin.
No, it's not. That's not a new high. Oh, like since...
No.
We had it at 57.5.
Oh,
earlier,
hold on a second. No,
maybe.
my chart's messed up. Never mind.
No, yeah, that's okay. All good, all good. That's why we're here. Okay, so Apple does break a little bit lower, so we get out. So there it is right there. We'll go 181.70 to 183.28. That's $1.50 clean right there. And we're out of it, and we'll just wait. Yeah, $1.50. So we'll wait to see now. I mean, there it goes, bouncing right back up. So definitely a trade happening there. But we could actually wind up making... So I just froze there, by the way, on my screens. Not a good sign. But okay, so just right now, watching out for Oracle. We'll punch a little bit more out. Nice short. Let's see if this comes back in for us. It's Oracle, but we are out of Apple right there. So I don't know if you took that advice or not, but that's out on Apple. We're looking to get more into NVIDIA if it comes up to 794. Who knows about that one? And we're out about 15% or so of Oracle. Looking for more. We still do have Frank coming at 245.
Yeah.
No, we do not.
No, we do not.
Have Frank coming at 245.
Well, basically what happened is Apple already rallied the market, so kind of figured, you know, we don't need Frank today, but we'll see. I talked about having a tight stop definitively on Amazon and then wait around for VWAP where the flat bottom break was. So there's your consolidation. There's the entry. This is it breaking higher, now following the market to the upside. If it comes back into where we had the flat bottom break, I was short into it on a lower high, then I added to it on the break. So the flat bottom break was at 173.85. If it gets back there, I still think this is relatively weak. And if it's relatively weak and the market hasn't broken the highs, I still want to jump on over to it. But we talked about Unity for a potential dip. It still hasn't settled down after pulling back in. So Unity Software still waiting for it to find a bit of a settle down zone to work back into the long trade, but it is on my radar. Big mover on earnings, bad guidance, but it's really been more of a trend to the upside trade. I was short early, but now I'm looking for longs.
I just tried to get a little more short on NVIDIA, but I don't know. I'm getting a little bit bored of this. It just keeps going to 793, and that's like where we're waiting, but hopefully we don't have to wait for too much longer to get a little more here. And then if it does come back up there, we'll watch out for that with our stop being up to 795. So I just kind of like want to build into something here on NVIDIA, but this is sort of, Apple has changed our mood a little bit here. Just
change the market's mood.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we were short everything, and it's been fine. There's no damage has been done to our positions. We actually got into Oracle, which has been better, and then we were able to get out there on ARM, which has been fine. But now I'm noticing ARM's at this spot as well. Again, I was waiting for a 140 break up there on ARM, looking to get a little bit more around 139.50. So let's just try to stay. Yeah, so 139.50. Okay, I can put an order there and see. It looks like we had a bad out there on Apple as it continues to go up, so I kind of wish I didn't address that, but that's okay. Apple making moves higher and higher and higher. Wow, what a name. We should still be long there. We got out at 25 there on that break, so give up 40 cents right now to get out, which is kind of silly, but hopefully Oracle can go down. We won't feel as bad, and I'm going to reload that ARM as well.
Apple, I would have thought maybe you'd get a dip that could have pressed through that 83, but it looks like it doesn't even care. Everything has changed now in this market because you're just trending upside. Like I was just saying, wait around for Amazon to get to VWAP. Like it's pretty much there. Intel, which I was looking for the short, wait around for VWAP before thinking about it. Would still be a lower high, but that just happened. It's going to happen in a couple of minutes. I know BGIC Nikola is moving, but I don't think this is a Nikola kind of afternoon. Like it's got to be all about Apple here. If it doesn't break 184, remember that 200-period moving average, I still feel like this is not enough of a dip. If it's failing the 200-period moving average on the daily, 182 makes a lot of sense, 182 to 182.50 if we're thinking there's going to be a second salvo or just breaking the 184 as well. You're right, ACK, you thought Tesla would go up on Apple's news. It did go up. Tesla did. It was bouncing off of the 198 level and has gone up about $2.50, and now holding the $200 level. So I'd say Tesla is doing rather well. But look at this support now at the $200 level. I think that can be a good play there as well.
Boom, I didn't even realize this, man. Bank of Nova Scotia reported
Yeah.
right there. Yeah, so that's up 3% right now. I don't know what anything else is up right here, but just getting set up for tonight as traders will stay late with me. We have the lows numbers there as a big one. That's already happened. So tonight after market, we have RSG, Republic Services, AMC. That's it for now. And then as you go down here, Coupang might be something, Splunk, maybe with eBay coming in after as well. eBay looking at 6.5% as an expected move for solar. That should be pretty hot as the solar universe continues to move around. And now we get into the sub 10 billion area here where we have, okay, Norwegian was before market. We talked a little bit about that already. Massimo could be interesting with Apple there and some of that talk about the watch, but that's over with. There's Macy's. Wow, Macy's only 5 billion. So yeah, it looks like most of them will be there on that first page with First Solar and eBay and Splunk. So we'll identify some of those there into the close. And there's Apple. Looks like we did okay after all. So I'm going to just set this up. Splunk. Yesterday we had good ones. I'm erasing them now. Workday, Unity, and Zoom. Today we'll go with Splunk, First Solar, and maybe Coupang or something like that. eBay. Splunk, eBay, First Solar.
Yeah, First Solar, double-digit potential there. I mean, we've already seen the moves that have been happening. Sedge has done pretty well in terms of volatility. The stocks haven't been doing well necessarily. Unity back into it. We were waiting for it to find a bottom, so this is it. Let it go sideways for a little bit, calm down. That's exactly what happened at 30.30. So I grabbed it just as it was creeping back above the 40 level. I got 39s on the way up there, so not bad in terms of not getting slipped any bit. If we get back up to 31, take some profit on the way. I'm still in that Google re-entry. If the market's going to hold 18,000,
oh my God, thank you
Google
so much.
breaking higher as well. So I'm only in longs, and it's Apple's fault. Right. Randy, did you hear?
Yo.
Apple abandoning their EV plans and moving all 2,000 employees over to generative AI.
That's good. Yep, that's a good move. I mean, I was saying, Randy, why would they get involved in something that no one else can make money in? Smart.
It's not their MO.
No, why do that, man?
MO.
They're destroying everything else. They might as well, like, profit-wise, continue where they are, man. I'm sure Uncle Warren was like, yo, man, you can keep those dividends safe, you know what I'm saying? But no, you know, I still like it. Apple probably gets involved in it at some point, and then
When things turn around, when things get, the environment gets better, I guarantee you, that's how they do it. They're all about executing better in a good, in the positive space.
So this is in front of you right now. We just shorted NVIDIA at 792. And there it is. So that's $1. It just went down to 791.10 there. So if you want to take that, put a bid out there, take some NVIDIA love, as here it comes right back up to the upside. Again, ARM, I don't know where the love's going to be on this one right now. And then Oracle is not really moving around. You know what was a really good call today? One of my favorites. I mean, this Palantir, we got stopped out there, bought it back immediately because we're like, what? We got stopped out at the low there. Bad look by me. We punched right back in. And again, like why we weren't using this low or giving it a little bit more love. We wrote down 2380. That was literally the stop. We've had that on the stick, for a minute right now as NVIDIA is starting to go to the downside right now. So that's a boomer right there. But yeah, so we took it back and then that's all good. So again, look at this, what we talk about a 20% hit probably for more money involved with that afterwards. Goes back up to day's high, PLTR, and a little bit of a fade gang right now. But good move there for Palantir. Another positive name for us, but not as much as it could have been. Never as much always. Oh, wow. That went down to okay, we got to get, I didn't even realize that this was here. 791 is the 200 period. All right, we got to look at that. So I'm going to put a bid down there for NVIDIA 791. Okay, it's right here right now. Let's just see if we get picked up on that bid. I'm not going to try to punch out. We'll see if we sit there. Hopefully it whooshes down and we get that 791 or so fill right there. Hopefully that can come through and we'll take that. So, and then we'll watch the rest. And then we'll hopefully get down into 788 where I really think it belongs. So we'll see about this, man. Thanks, Randy, for the coffee.
Holla. And the NASDAQ couldn't break the highs. Apple breaking 183. I'm back into Intel. It got to VWAP, maybe a couple of cents lower than it, but that's where it tops out in front of VWAP, and then I go into the short once it pulls back. With the NASDAQ also pulling back a little bit here off of those highs. That's the sort of Apple reversal, dragging it with it, going a little bit lockstep. Unity did bounce. So we let it go sideways, got 39s, giving it to 30, so 10 cents worth of risk. It just broke 55s, got some out there, going to get some out at the same high or low. I don't know, with the market not cresting higher, I'm thinking lower high should mean off the 3080. So a bit of a head and shoulders. I'm anticipating getting set up there on Unity. Playing the bounce on that one. Google, I'll hold it to the 60s, risking about 10
Hold
there.
up.
Hey.
Right.
I absolutely love that song. This is one of the things I love about the show, and we talk about this all the time. It's like eventually you start finishing each other's sentences, and like you just start it, and I know exactly where it's going. I haven't worked my daughter into that one just yet. Like I can do, and she'll just start singing "We Will Rock You," and there's a couple of other ones I can
take me out to the ball game probably.
Yeah, there's a few ones I can just sort of start it, and then she'll just start belting it out there. But we used to have a rule. I used to miss all of them. All of my references.
I mean, Sharif and Adair had a pretty interesting makeup talk on the Midday show, so that was pretty cool. They're finishing each other's thoughts on.
Yeah, I mean, you got to learn sometimes.
Styles of blush.
I mean, who would use makeup? I mean, come on, I don't need any makeup.
No, we don't use makeup.
Not in here,
We don't use
man.
makeup
This is
around
old
here.
now.
But there goes NVIDIA, guys. Let's go slap it up one time. Right there, 791. So we did take that dollar. It did come down and print us. I mean, it's right here right now. We got 791.11s. There on the downside to give us exactly that dollar. So now we'll wait for, again, another piece. And I still think we can go lower here, but Apple sort of turned the tides there. And again, no need to apologize, man. We did the work on this Apple trade and we're out. So here it is. This is, I can't, honestly, we short that top, we get out, 200 period. Then we reverse to the long, get out there. Obviously that 200 period at 184, yeah, I don't know, my 200 period is not even loading on Apple, but Neil mentioned that's where it was. So that was a good stopping spot, and then boom, back into the downside. So let's see. The disappointing one for me here would be, what's up, Eddie R? That's the funny thing about it is we do wear like a little toner thing here. What do you call it? Foundation?
I don't know what you call it.
Ramin? Don't know. It's
How do
not,
we-
it's not like a powder. Yeah,
It's so that you
foundation.
guys don't see the shine. Well, you can still,
like-
actually, I'm still shining like crazy.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Some kind of sunning powder or something. I don't know what it's called. I'll show. I've done reels on that before.
Just
You know,
one,
what about a firm?
one thing, Google is at 139 even. So I got out of the original long here. The original long was this little local breakout at 138.20. I covered it here, said, okay, it's still going, jumped right back into it, 10 cents higher. But it's got a bit of a wall at the 139 level. If it can't break that and the market pulls back, I do want to respect that. Let's go out to the higher time frame. Why 139, Neil? That seems like absolutely randomness. No. Yesterday, remember yesterday, right about lunchtime, this was a short off the 139. It was failing. So when you zoom out the chart, this would be the top end of the range. If it pulls back here, I'm going to take the profit. I'm just going to take the profit and run on Alphabet, which as far as I'm concerned, was consolidating, and the breakout was because Apple started going. Like it was just going sideways on a bounce. Second Apple went, it took the next level up. So sometimes you get that good fortune. But if it cannot break this 139 soon, I got to get out of this.
All right, Nvidia just went $1.50. I still think we can get a lot lower, man. It's only $2.50 right now. So there's a lot more happening right now, especially if we take this 18, right? So again, good news for Apple. I feel like they can just digest this and the market should come back down. There really isn't too many catalysts right now for a positive market. I mean, we've already seen, and the reason why I say that is Nvidia still isn't really like, what's going to get this market going? We saw Apple give it a go, and it did. It sure did. I mean, Apple really gave this market a jolt there, so there's no doubt about that. But it's like Nvidia is still red into a positive market. So I kind of say that like tongue-in-cheek, what could get this market going? We know it's Nvidia and all this AI talk,
So
but for right now, it's coming back down into the downside here and not really giving us sort of that feel that maybe we're starting to go the other way. So I was going to stay on this. You know, possibly looking at something like a Microsoft, really holding nicely at 400 lately. But okay, still down. I thought maybe Microsoft would be up on some of that news from Apple. I don't know, just lifting the whole market, but still red. Okay.
SoFi carrying the market today.
Is SoFi, we did get some more. How much is SoFi up?
6%, $9.
What?
It's over $9.
What was the news there?
I actually just put it in the chat.
Oh.
I didn't see anything on my Benzinga if there was something fresh.
Adara will find it for us.
Yeah, well, certainly. I mean, it definitely made a bit of a technical break through 860. Like that happened. It held the 50. It closed at the 50 period and then made a bit of a breakout here off of 860 or 865. So shout out to SoFi. And look at it, looking for more. This is what just happened, was a bounce off 9 even. I mean, VWAP's down there too, but this was a bounce off $9 even. Maybe you can get back to the high. In the afternoons, 10, 20 cents on SoFi is a good move. I think you got to put that into perspective. Alphabet did break the 139, so now I'm trailing it back underneath the 139 and looking to see if it can pop higher. But the overall market, like we're not really pressing much more. So I think we're starting to get a little bit extended. Apple, as you can see, has already pulled back like $1.30. So that's why I'm leaving a trail in, and I'll take profit if this gets anywhere near 139.5. Alphabet now up 1%. Aaron's saying we want Bitcoin. Okay, now my chart is fully loaded. When I said Bitcoin was making fresh highs, my chart didn't kind of fully load there. Now it has. So there you go. Now we can say Bitcoin broke the high of the day. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to let it load back to the full thing. But hey, maybe we were just sort of calling out the future there. Intel, the short is, I mean, it went in the money 5 cents. I was looking for the first 10 cents, which is what I usually do on Intel. But yeah, still holding underneath VWAP for that one. So Google long, Unity, we already took one profit taker. It's still kind of going sideways here off the 30-30 level, not the $30 level like before.
Oracle, okay, good. I was going to say fingers crossed that we continue to go down. Good little short here for Oracle. Again, now a dime in the money, but it hasn't really been moving around the way we had hoped it would be. Today is a green day. It's just hoping for a lot more. Like I feel like we could break lower here on a lot of these names. I feel also that we probably could be thinking about an Apple reload here. It's just when we get kind of like flash news, I get a little, hesitant to make like some serious plays because, once we all figure this out, then we can understand what this means for Apple. We've obviously had a great boost there on today's move. I feel like part of it is a technical bounce off 180, to be honest with you. They get the juice and they're like, okay, here we go, right off 180 there again. And then now some sellers pop in there realizing that, hey, maybe it didn't need to add that much volume into Apple, but it did, and it's there. Coinbase right now is now taking out highs at 57.5. If you were a member of Podcast Nation, which I know a lot of you are, we talked about buying Bitcoin on Friday when it was at 51,000. That was my going away trade that Brendan asks me about. So it's been a nice move over the last little while. I feel like we could short names like Coinbase when this happens, or just celebrate some of the longs on some of this. So here we go, man. Nice move to the upside. When we get back, I'll pass over to Neil, but I'm going to look up some of the altcoins and see what they're doing today as well. Seems like it's a good one. And I'm lining up, by the way, Crypto Burb coming to the market recap show at some point next week, where we'll talk all about Bitcoin and see what he's thinking here. But Pan W probably up as well.
Well, okay, you know what?
It was pulling back, but the market bounced.
I was going to say, before I say Pan W is up, I'm going to have a look at it in a second. But on a dip, I was looking for some kind of a level off in Apple, either at 182 or 182.5, as we were mentioning before. It just made a hold. We've got another kind of dark pool wick in there, but just made a hold at 182.60 in front of the 182. So very similar to Unity on a dip buy. Apple, I bought 72s in there off of this level. Let's see how far it can go to the upside. Recognizing that 184 is that 50 period, sorry, 200 period? Yeah, 200 period on the daily that I do want to respect. So looking for the bounce play in Apple. And Pan W, I love Pan W, you love Pan W, we all love Pan W. I can confirm that it is up, but it did pull back today. It's technically trending down since the open, but that's only because it went so far up. Up to 328 at one point. Let's go to Adara at the desk.
Fractal Health, GUTS, picking up on volume right now. This one was a recent IPO, so back to the beginning of February, this one did have its IPO, and now the research quiet period has ended. It got a buy rating with a $26 price target from BofA Global Research, so GUTS picking up on volume here, up 24%, guys.
It probably takes a little bit of guts to trade that with the spread that it has. For a $9 stock, like this just broke the 950, it's got a 7-cent spread on just under 1 million shares worth of volume. So all things in perspective if you trade something like this. If the spread now is 10 cents, if it broke a stop level, I think you're slipping 20 to 25 pennies in a situation like that. So if you can wrap your head around that risk, I think it can be fine. But if you go long in front of a key price, remember that the spread, it can be your friend sometimes if it's a wide one and you're in the money and it's working for you. But when you get stopped out, you got to put that in the back of your mind, how far it can go against you. So Apple just bounced off 182.60. I got 70s long. It just got to 183. So it went 25 cents on a 10-cent stop, and let's see if it can make the next leg up to potentially that 200 period moving average on the daily. That's right in here. Apple closing above that, I think, would be a fantastic sign. I love that 200 period whenever we can find it.
Okay, we've already hit.
Just an update. I did trail out of Google there. Google broke back underneath the 139 level, so another trail out on Alphabet. It's been trend up, but I sort of been taking the exit when the NASDAQ won't break highs.
Okay, yeah. The NASDAQ's going to be a funny one here today, obviously, as we continue just to go higher and higher. Like Neil mentioned, we're right there looking to break highs. But Roku again at 64. If you like this, I mean, I just saw someone in the chat mention this was a level that I had written down and already traded through today, right there. But as this market continues to go higher, I don't think we need to sit in the way of Roku. It could blast through that level, and then everybody that was sitting there short potentially all day, I don't know. They might have covered, they might have not. I'm just a little nervous heading into 3 o'clock now, into power hour, as we watch out for that. So again, we just saw Oracle go to the downside. As the market continues to go up, we are going to get out on a break of 50 there. We did mention a possible reload zone right there for Apple. It looks like it wanted to hold. So yeah, maybe the 50 period is something there for Apple and for the market, looking to hold out on that 50 period. The Qs goes all the way up. We did get stopped out of that, but if I'm going to reload something, maybe it would be to the NASDAQ on the dip buys. So 437.43 there. We really like the short on the NASDAQ, but now I feel that time has definitely been changing here for us. This is the NASDAQ chart on the 30-minute. It's just nicely trying to break. It still doesn't look that good. I mean, it
doesn't even look that.
Move up there, we can go short, but still.
Can you go back? Can you just full screen it for a second there? Just staying there. Like you got like a wick top fail breakout of that double top, and then since then you have lower highs.
This here, yeah.
Unless we break that top.
That's what I want to see right about here, 18,050. So what are we at now?
Lower highs.
18,030. So maybe a couple more handles here to the upside, and then we can see about a potential short. So yeah, maybe we can try something up here. All right, pulling back a little bit is Oracle. We didn't take any more up there. Let's just see if it wants to fade out or not. But yeah, we'll sit there. I still want another big trade. Like, what else is everybody looking at, man? I want to put something on.
A&F going to 300?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, at this rate.
Why not?
Well, the thing is, if it never has a down day, which today was for a second looking like it was going to be a down day on A&F. Look, it's had down days. Probably exaggerating it here, but look at the trend on this stock. Not a massive short float, although it does have a short float, and today looked like it was breaking down like everything else. It still doesn't look super strong just yet. Up 1%. I don't think it's going to 300 though. I see your sentiment, but if this gets to 300, something's probably broken in the market if that happens anytime soon.
I kind of want, yeah, well, it might. I don't think, there is a short float on it, but it's not crazy.
Yeah, it was like 12. No, I mean.
Was it? I don't know what it was. Okay, so we'll just sit here. We'll take a little bit more on Oracle, and then we'll get out once it breaks higher. That's that trade. I was looking at maybe a Tesla, but again, like now I was looking at it because I was like, okay, you're hovering around this 201, but then I did think about that Apple story and how I thought maybe it was decent for Apple, so, and then good for Tesla. So, could be a tale of two here, and maybe we go long. But again, it's been failing up here at 201. I feel like a 201 break would be really good. That's not too far away, so we can maybe wait for that one to come through again. And then a bottom break, if you think the NASDAQ's going back a little southbound, do ya? Then maybe this break right now of 199.88, which is coming out right here, could be a trade for us. So I get excited here because there goes NVIDIA right now. Slap it up, boom. So as we sit here and look for trades, I mean, we have a $3 winner that we put on right there at 792.15 or whatever we're short there, 08, and it just touched out again to 789.50. So big trade alert right there if you have NVIDIA. I still think we're going lower. I don't even have any bids on this, but if you do have this one, congratulations. I think we might get you might get your wish here. You're looking for $3. You're in it right here. What about lower? What about VWAP? What about 788? So let's wait to see if that comes through right now. Small little reload here on Oracle, but this one's disappointing for sure. Should have been short something else. We're gonna go find something else.
Well, to me, I was just waiting for Amazon to get to VWAP. It just finally got to a VWAP in here, and the flat bottom break from earlier. So can history repeat itself? This was the flat bottom break, the one that we mentioned in the middle of the day. Gotta use it. I mean, if we're gonna have it, might as well use it. And then wait for it to get right back up. I was in the short, I had reloaded it, stopped it out and said, let's wait for it to get right back in at that same price. It crests and goes up to the 90s. I short 80s, highly creative there. Sometimes you don't have to be overly creative. We'll give it to that local top at 90. And if it gets back to 173.50, then respect that was a nice zone before and take some profit out in front of it. So short two names. Unity, I'm not reloading. To me, it did not bounce enough off the higher low. I don't want to reload it because I think it can get into VWAP. So either gives me the 3080s off this 3040 long, or that's it. No reload on that. Apple, I feel similarly about Apple. If it's not going to break back up to that 183.5 off this 182.70 long, forget about it. Not going to reload that trade unless it's making a higher low. To me, that's still in the midst of a pullback. We'll just be happy that it worked out. The initial salvo. So Amazon already starting to work back into the downside. Don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, but you have to be patient sometimes. As the market was going up, I knew where I wanted to get into this one, allowed it to get to the price, and then we work back into it. Luke saying apparently Netflix is strong. That's a stock I have not looked at in a very long time.
Oh, speak about being strong. Today, the force is strong, and we will be having Obi as our guest on the market recap show tonight. With me, we're going to discuss, some stock talk, looking at a little bit of charts. We'll see what Obi's up to these days. So tonight's market recap show with me and Obi. Obi will come around 4:15ish. We'll talk some shop as we usually do. So
I was actually waiting for you to say that to then drop. You're not just going to get Obi in the aftermarket show. Obi's filling in for me tomorrow. I'm feeling absolutely fine, but Obi's going to be on the show. I have the day off. My daughter has been doing a karate program in the school, which is genius by this karate school. Like once a week, they have like a program in the middle of the day, and all the kids that want to be in it can do it. So she's been picking up karate, and they have their big graduation. It's a little bit of a demonstration graduation thing for everyone that did the program. We always make sure that when she looks out, that one of us is there, myself or my wife. My wife has a bunch of meetings, there's nothing she can do about it, so I'm going to be there to support my daughter. And you get Obi double duty because that's how he rolls. So I think it'll be a fantastic one.
today's for 10 minutes.
Oh, today? Well, okay, fine. Today, but still, he'll give some insights.
Yeah.
There were people that were asking what was he doing in Amazon today, so you're going to get to ask him those questions. Then you'll get to see him trade Amazon live tomorrow. And Amazon's been a mover. There was an interesting question. I saw this in the chat, and I didn't get to it because we were kind of wrapping things up in the middle of the show. And it was a shotgun. Which one would you buy at these levels? And it was Amazon and Apple. I said Apple because it was in front of the 180 level at the time, and it's going to seem like it's cheap, but that was because it was holding the 180 level. It had nothing to do with anything else. I actually might think Amazon, in a general sense, is maybe a better value here, and maybe a stronger setup. But Apple in the 180, no way I could have known that this news was going to drop. And by the way, does anyone think it's a coincidence that news got dropped as it was testing the $180 level?
Yes.
Like that is the maximum. I guess like if you're looking to make a move happen, you either want it fail breaking that level or bouncing off it, which is pretty much exactly what they got. So great timing of that release on news. Amazon pressing back down to 173.5. I said I would take some out on the way to that. So if it's going to start to bounce off 173.5, I'll get another leg out in the 50s and then hold on for dear life here.
All right. Yeah, like that Apple news really created some great trading opportunities as we were just discussing there. So short and then long, and then Apple immediately goes to the top of the board from a P&L standpoint. So good trade there as we continue to watch out. Look, man, we talked about that down there. I called 788 on NVIDIA. It went right down to 788. I'm just waiting for a much bigger move. I mean, if $3 is in your wheelhouse, then take it. I mean, that's what we talk about here. Do what you guys want to do. That's NVIDIA. Oracle trying to bounce off here as well, 1134, 1135 or so on Oracle. We'll see if that can come in at any point there. ARM has been a good one too. ARM is $1 plus. Now we already took some out down there at 138. ARM has been pretty much the #1 stock for a long time here for me, and it's again today. Boom, we got stopped. It's amazing that we got stopped out there and still put some crazy damage on this name today. So we only got stopped at 75%, held the last 25, and then it came all the way back in, creating some nice opportunities. Then another reload there at 143, and then this. So it's been a really, really good day for ARM, and we're just going to keep on watching out for it. As here we go, Oracle. Finally, man, make the move, Oracle. Make the move. Let's see if we can get a little bit lower on this name right now. Nice move into the 50 period. We'll take a 33 fill. We're also bidding 27, and we'll see if it really wants to get going to the downside right now. Oracle's is my biggest position. So if that goes, that goes. We'll have to wait out for Oracle right here to the downside.
Just got the take profit, and we'll not look a gift horse in the mouth either with Amazon or with Unity. Unity finally pressed back a little bit higher. That the first trade is going to end up being better off of VWAP, but you sort of take what you can get. The higher low, 30.39, just played up to 30.80. So we got 1.5%. The stock has moved 7%. since the open, but you can see it's not quite as much volatility as it was before. So we'll jump in and out of that one. Unity been good as long as we moved into a long. The short was not the way to go early, but the long has been the way to go for the majority of the day. Apple is right back at our entry price. Right back at our entry price, but look at this. All of a sudden, you've got like a 40-cent range in the last 20 minutes on Apple, which was moving a lot more rapidly, but you're kind of gliding back in. This still feels like it's trying to catch a base. I want to see a higher low before I think about going into the long one more time on Apple. Scott H, SOUN seems stuck. Yeah, look, SOUN was a good story this morning. It's been a good story as a small capper for a while. I had a couple of plays on it. I took one long with a tight stop, then got a nice bounce, 720 into like 750, and then that immediately couldn't hold on. 650 is your level. Like, that's the one. If you've been playing off the 650 level, you're good to go. But it's under VWAP. The volume's tapered off. Feels like SOUN, unless something happens dramatically to get it back above the $7 level, it might be done for the day. All that said, I mean, come on. The stock's been fantastic for everybody.
All right. Well, let's go big trade alert. Oracle is finally starting to go downside. We just got a 27 there for Oracle. We're trying to see if ARM can also go. But there goes Oracle. Nicely done to the downside. We just got a 27. I say big trade alert because it went right up to our stop and was able to give us basically as many shares as we wanted there. So we're doing that, you know. That was a good trade. I wanted to actually look at Uber because I like the Uber strength lately. It did show up on a scanner here. Oh, Uber's down. Oh, that's why. So Uber does make a move right back here into the 200 period. This is actually would be, looking over at my blotter, I mean, I'm short everything like crazy right now. I don't know if we need to be short all this stuff. We will get that number at 3:30 from Adara on what is good with the imbalances at the end of the day. eBay tonight. This is probably a good short, honestly. 78.35 here on Uber. We're just hella short everything. That's not bad. I mean, I just, you know, I don't want to go into this and then be, you know, one wrong call puts me out. I'm 4 short right now. I'm short dangerous names here. This is not, you know, messing around. We've got NVIDIA here short. We've got ARM short. We've got AMD short. Like, I'm short the chips? What? Okay, this might need to be reassessed at some point here. But ARM is $1. They're all $1 in the money. But, you know, ARM just went down to 38.50. That could be a decent spot to get some out. We're short at 39.60. You know what? I'm just kind of convincing myself here. We should put a bid on ARM. I was at 138 flat. Let's put a bid at 138.50 or so. If we're lucky enough to get that, then we'll take that piece out. We'll put $1 in our pocket and then work off of ARM, because if ARM goes back to 140, we want to short more of it. But the market, like we said, still has a little ways to go. I still feel like this 18,060, something like that for a level that we talked about here on the NASDAQ is something to look at. So right into here, these tops, 18,060. So that's good. And then, I mean, it's not that good, but then you have 1880 there. And then the ultimate top, some of these tops, 18,130, 150. So, you know, the NASDAQ still has a little ways, still has a little ways to travel. So if it does get back up there, that's what we'll be doing with the NQs. So we'll have a quick look at that and see where we go. But it's Oracle. We talked about it, man. We leveled into this one, and that's what it is. So hold on a second. Marijuana-related stocks seeing an increase in activity. So MSOS, we could see if this one wants to finally go upside a little bit here. That is an Amex stock. So
I don't see it moving much.
no, okay, I just heard that. Is it Tilray then? MSOS, a little bit of a move. TLRY, just hearing it in my ear from Benzinga. It doesn't look like. Oh yeah, Tilray, nice move. Okay.
Oh yeah, Tilray's.
Yeah, we can wait. So maybe something here coming through on MSOS. I don't know, 905 break, something like that. It's still down 1.5%.
Yeah, I mean, CGC, I mean, it's not like it spiked, but the volume didn't. This is the key thing for me. If this is going to break out, look at the volume spike. It's not bigger volume than the other candles in the day. So generally speaking, if I want this to continue, it needs to, if it can keep this up and break some of those volume highs, that would look a little bit better. Nick's asking thoughts on, Nick Dubs in the chat, asking about MGNI. Is another runner here today. Nice, obviously stair-stepping to the upside, but as you can sort of tell here, volume really dying down on this name. I want volume on a name like this. It's got to pick up, and then you join things as the volume starts to get back into it. I'm just not really seeing it there. CGC, it looks like a decent enough breakout, and remember, this is a reverse split. Hasn't really done anything parabolic since the reverse split, which has been a bit of a thing every now and then. It just, the volume needs to take it through that high. I didn't get the exact news, but
there is no news.
Oh, I thought you had something on your end.
Yeah, I just said that they're moving, but I don't know what the news is.
Oh, okay, so they're moving on nothing.
Moving on, yeah, essentially. Okay, and we just undercover again. Spin it. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, everything. Thank you, Nick Garcia, 18 months. Thank you so much. All right, so there it is right there, 178.15 or 16. Out again, we'll take 15 cents, just a little undercover scalping action happening over here. And then we'll wait to see if Oracle wants to go down. We're still waiting for ARM. We already have our target. That should fill up very, very soon, man. We are bidding, won't say exactly, somewhere around here. We are bidding for ARM to put more damage on this name here today. And we'll wait for that. So that's going to be a play. Hopefully that will come through there soon on ARM. Waiting for that, Phil. AMD, we took it. Oracle, we're waiting for more. And NVIDIA. Okay, there goes MSOS. So now we are long right now. We take that 05 break. We're just long right here. I want to hold this until we break back below 9. So very, very simple trade. If it breaks back below, we'll take the L on this one. That is MSOS right now. Just taking a shot. So we'll see. Maybe there's news, maybe there's not, but that's what we're going to do. Take a shot here on MSOS. Breaking this low maybe is where we'll get out in and around $9.
Yeah, I still might take the CGC. No news on it, but I mean it looks good on the chart, and the volume's starting to pick up. I just got out of Apple. The range that it was in, 182.5 into 183. It got to 183, pull back. I said I'm not going to reload it. I'm just going to get out. So it breaks the range down. I get out of the trade. Don't want to turn that into a loser. Not going to happen. Amazon, no reload, no VWAP yet, but a lower high looks pretty good as well. Got to watch out what's happening here with the futures because they're holding that 18,000. Still think Amazon's a short until proven otherwise. And CGC, if it doesn't start, I don't know, if it doesn't break this, it's a triple top on CGC here. But the volume, it just tested the high, looked like the volume was going to carry through. I might get away from this. As I just pulled it up, I haven't even seen a print in the last 30 seconds. So I'm going to back away from that CGC breakout. It looks good on the chart, but there's nothing printing on the stock.
Yeah, you gotta be careful if things aren't printing. Of course, you want to have some volume. Not much happening on MSOS either, so we'll have to wait for that one. If we can get an 8 or a 9, something like that, we'll take it. But again, without any solid news or anything, we noted to you already that it was Tilray that started going a bit, and that has pulled back. So MSOS getting a little bit of love, but nothing to write home about. All we're writing home about right now is that dollar that we just took on ARM. Oh man, yeah, we're doing well here. So let's just see if we do get a little bit of a fade here into the close. We were looking for a bigger trade. I feel like we did get one a little bit with Oracle. It's not like it's moving that much, but we did average into NVIDIA right there. We talked about looking for a bigger trade. So this is now $2 in the money on that one. We did get some more ARM, but that was early, so that didn't happen. And then we just got some more AMD. Up there as well. So I feel like we're in the right names if we're looking for something to happen. But for right now, let's go over to Adara and see if she has anything.
Yeah, a bit of news here coming out of Fox Business with regards to Paramount, PARA. Earlier today, CNBC and some other people were reporting that Warner Brothers has pulled out of its potential buyout for or deal with Paramount. But now Fox saying that Skydance and Redbird Capital coming together or reportedly trying to come together to buy the Redstone's position Sherry Redstone's position in Paramount Company. Basically, this plan would involve getting Paramount's assets through the purchase of National Amusements, and then after compensating common shareholders, they're going to form a new public company. If this plan does exist, again, these are reports. Reportedly, Jeff Shell, formerly the CEO of NBC Universal, will be playing a role in this potential merger as well. So interesting note there on Paramount. Also, thank you very much to Simpler Trading. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for Trader TV viewers. Today, you can get a 60-day membership for just $1 to Simple Central. Follow the latest strategies from multiple asset classes, in real time.
So coming back to 39, I I've traded Affirm one time today. We had it we had it a couple of times this week. The trades don't really show up, but it was all off of the 38 level that I've generally been trading this. Today it was one shot at 39, but now it's putting in a lower high. I did put in the chat that on this consolidation break in Amazon, I'm going to add to the position. We're already short it, but for something new, lower high being put in on Affirm as that starts to run out of steam. The market is starting to crest a little bit here. So anything that's putting in a lower high that I generally like to trend short on, and underneath 40, I still like this for a short. Got my nice little clean $40 line in there on Affirm. Until it breaks back above that, I am looking for short the pop plays there. There's somebody walking Apple down on the offer. I think this could get back into 182 the way it's looking. And if it dragged this to the upside, why wouldn't it pull us back into the downside? I'm out of the Google long. I'm going to look for, maybe I can find a short. Yeah, well, nice little lower high on Alphabet as well. If Apple dragged this thing from 138.20 to 139, why can't it drag it all the way back down in? About 15 cents worth of risk to that lower high currently on Google.
So you can just go over to YouTube, type in more Trader TV live, and be able to see our positions all of the time. This stuff is not accurate on the side. These fills, like that MSOS one would be accurate, but you know, sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. These positions will generally be right. There's MSOS right there, so there's some things happening right now again. There is some more news about Apple right now again, about some sort of more deal here. We'll find out more about it. Something on CNBC, I guess, was stated, but I think it might be the same thing about the EV. So we'll stay tuned with this, see what's going on right now. ARM is really flashing, which is real nice right now for us. Oracle is really starting to push a little bit lower. NVIDIA is still $2. We're still him. We're still here. And there it goes. Let's go, NVIDIA, man. If we can get back into those 88s, that would be really nice. We'll figure this out right now on this market. But Apple starting to make some moves around again. I think it might have just been the same report there on CNBC. I still have them in my ear
they
here.
Tend to be, well,
so
you know how it is, right? Like, and not to throw any shade, but when news does hit, you'll hear like linear TV sort of repeat it a little bit later on. Like for us, I mean, that was a story a while ago, but you know, they'll probably just repeat it, maybe give a few more anecdotes and that kind of a thing. I am into Alphabet, just got that lower high. Affirm just came in at the 39 level, and I am looking to add to the consolidation short right here in Amazon. Just want to play the next range that it put in. It pulled back off VWAP, bounced to 172.50. We got the range high at 75s. Want to short underneath that 75 on the way back into the downside. Nicola's apparently breaking. I mean, is it breaking $1? Not really. Nikola breaking out. Hey, not good trend on Nikola today. Volume's okay. I don't really know the news here. Yeah, Nikola needs to break 80 cents on the daily chart. Here we go. If Nikola breaks 80, then it could really start to a bit of a better squeeze for Nikola. I'm not really excited about this tight of a range on a penny stock. It's got to break into some new ranges. Then I would get involved in a Nikola move.
all right, we're still waiting for something to happen. It's only 3:22 right now. I liked that Uber call. Let's have a quick look back at it here. So there it is. Remember we were talking about the short there and we stayed away from it, so that's what I'm saying. Probably a good thing. I think you can reverse it now and look to go long. This market seems like it's going to be strong here into the close, which is making me think a little bit more about some of this. So we got out there of Oracle right there at 25-ish. We still have about a third of the position. I'd like to maybe have less, I guess, but we'll see. I still hold out hope that this does make that move back somewhere. ARM is still that trade that we've had all day, but there it is again, bouncing off 138. That's again another level that we've seen here a couple times today. I was waiting for lower. Maybe ARM doesn't have it in it today. 137 and change down there for ARM, something to look at for sure. So if that fills, yeah, there's still so much time left. Ugh. Yeah, I like Apple. I like it.
Apple bounced off 182.20. It looked like somebody was walking it down into 182, but it looks like it's made a higher low. Look, I just wanted it down around here where it was consolidating. A higher low might be the 182.50, which we were just playing off that level before. okay, be patient, Neil. I'm just going to play the patience game. It's not the setup that I wanted. Alphabet, I mean, it's got all these dark pool wicks down to 138. I don't know if we get all the way down there, but it's starting to consolidate off that lower high. The market just held 18,000. I just feel like if I'm going long, I want to be long Apple after that news. So I'm going to stay with the short on Google. Look for an entry onto Apple here, maybe breaking back above this 50 level could be it.
All right, we're going to always go short AMD until it breaks us. And it's going to be right here, 178. I'm just making sure it's the right trade. 178.40. I just don't want to give you guys the right area right there. So if we break that, that could be something there. 178.40 for AMD. So we'll short it until it breaks that. Again, I'm looking for more moves. Today could be eBay day. So tomorrow, I mean, first of all, Bitcoin back down to 57. We should look at Coinbase. We have eBay reporting, but look how nice eBay looks. This is another one of those names, man, that we could be breaking through this 45, and next thing you know, you're up here to 50 bucks. That's a 10% move. That could be happening there for eBay at some point later on today. So we'll watch out for that. Just seeing here, Boeing is still near 200, right? Yeah, so this name's been bouncing around. That bottom today is exactly $200. It's $200.04. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention here, as this is another one of those names that's moving around a bit here. Boeing down to exactly that. It's like Apple all over again, man. Apple bounces off 180, Boeing bounces off 2 bills. So just an area there to look at. And then shaking my head at SMH. As we've talked about this over and over again, especially on the Market Recap Show. Join me tonight with Obi, and we've mentioned that, like, I've called these guys the new transports. I said that to Chris Bretry. He's like, huh? But yeah, these lead the way. So we'll see if that can happen one more time here again. There's AMD, a nice little refresher there on that short for advanced micro devices. So let's get a piece out here, especially now that we're falling back just a little bit. Got to take profits when profit is there. We're short now 26s on advanced micro devices. If this tags, this will be a good one for us. But again, pretty slippery slope here on some of these chip names.
Yeah, Matt Carnes asking about Rivian here up 4%. I mean, the obvious levels have kind of passed. That was the $10 level, which we mentioned a couple of days ago, and then the $10.50 for the higher low. If you're looking upside, it's got to get to first day after the Huadunk. It topped out at 1160 on the bounce, so that's the next level up. Probably room to 1160 is what I would say on Rivian, but not really doing a heck of a lot today. As I said, I just jumped back into the Apple trade. More or less, it's the same area that we had it before. But keeping things in perspective, Apple is trying to make that second leg and press into 184, which would be that 200-period moving average that just failed after the news. So back into the dip buy, did a wick bottom into 182.25, got the long back up through the 50. I am short Amazon and Google. So my bet is if the market's going higher, it's Apple and not the others.
Yeah.
At this point. Like, it's just, I mean, it's kind of funny that it's working out that way. Like, oh, well, you're going to go long Apple, but you're going to go short 2 other Mag 7 names. Sometimes you just feel like there's relative strength in a name, and I feel like there's relative strength in Apple because of that news, but it doesn't mean it absolutely has to be correct. Derek saying Tesla, can it get up to 201 today? Did it end up, I guess it held 200, I suppose. I was looking at Tesla, it's underneath 200. It's got a whole 200 bucks. It cannot seem to hold that 200. Like, it doesn't look that strong to me yet. The logic of it being a long after the Apple news, I understand that, but I'm not really seeing it show strength again. If it does, I'm all for it, but I'm not really seeing that in the chart of Tesla yet. I mean, it could still go, but it's 3:30 and it's running out of time to do something here on Tesla. I'm going to stay away.
Yeah, no, I think you want to do exactly what we just did right there on AMD, and that was become a scalp as soon as you can. We got short there 28s, and then it was just boom, down to the downside. We got 16s, we got 15s, we got a lot of 19s, and now you're starting to go. We are watching out for 178.40. We told you the market's changed up, man. We know why. It's the Apple story. It continues to push everything higher. This is out of the money now, 5 cents. If you want to get out, get out. I'm only waiting for 10 more cents to go on AMD. Then that will be the end of the day. But we have made a lot of money back. This was a bad stock for us early. We shorted AMD against that pre-market bottom. We missed that initial break. I thought we were being pretty good on the pullback up. Shorted VWAP, shorted the 50 period. It broke. We got out, but then we've really had our day back with it. Short again, short again, short, short, all off the top. So far so good on that one, as we'll wait to see if it wants to make that move back in. But our stop is still where it is, 178.40, the high of the day. You see the high of the day right now is 38, so a couple pennies higher than that one, and we will stop out right there. Look, those of you yelling in the chat about ARM, which I don't think any of you are, ARM right now is $1.70 in the money. So this is like, if you want to take it, I'm biased to this short. We've talked about it over and over and over again. So I want to hold for a much bigger move. It's only 330. We'll see if we can get that coming through for ARM. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for that. But again, huge trade today. A big P&L name is ARM, and we're pretty happy with it. We did punch out some more of Oracle right there at the 50 period at 32.33. Hopefully this fades back in as well. But so far, we just wait. I don't really have, I'm already in five positions.
This time of day for me, I'm already in 3. We had a couple more, but those resolved. Like Unity resolved itself. Unity still. Since I got out of Unity, it literally has not moved. I went to look back at this. Is it breaking out again? It's absolutely not. Look at the sideways action here. What am I supposed to do with that? You wait for a dip buy, and then you buy that dip. In Amazon, like I wait for it to pop back up and then sort of sell the rip if I think I'm bearish on the stock, which I kind of am today, lower high off of VWAP. So I just reloaded that one. You just have to wait for the move to happen, tighten the stop up to the lower high, and then see what it can do. Apple is going sideways from our last re-entry point. Get into a second time. It's going sideways from our last re-entry point, so this is actually starting to slow down. We'd mentioned the marijuana names kind of really slowed down a little bit. That CGC, that was a potential breakout trade. Volume still there, basically tapering off, and you've still got the same 358 top. So a lot of the plays that looked like they were setting up, you got to play the patience game with them. I just saw thank you, Adara, 126 million to buy on the early look for the imbalances. So that's not a heck of a lot. Individually, pretty much nothing here. Nothing over 1 million shares individually. Yeah, it's going to be a nothing burger on the imbalances is what I see here. I mean, Shopify, 400,000. That's not doing anything. That's why you see a 126 number. 126 is absolute. It's just weakness. So we're going to have to stick with the names that are moving. Bought the dip on Apple. If it can hold this consolidation, great. Going to get out in front of the 183 again. But I'm too short one long. I feel like if this one long gets stopped out, you know what's going to happen to the other two. So actually, you actually just saw, there's my order. As it broke the local bottom, it fired a limit order down to 180 automatically. My hands weren't even on the keyboard when that happened. So quick little in and out. Just want to try the scalp trade. But we're too short, so it should work out just fine. AMC story madness. I'm going to pull it up for what's and giggles. And if it's not at the high of the day, oh, it's at the high of the day. Hey. Every now and then, people will say, hey, look at AMC today. I'll pull it up, and the stock isn't moving. It's moving today. They report, I feel like they're reporting this week. Let me just double check that for everybody. What we got for AMC? Yeah, they report on Thursday, I believe. That's the 28th. So, yeah, no, that's tomorrow. Check that. AMC reports tomorrow after the bell. So there is a reason to be looking at that. Aha. Breaking out some highs. This could turn into a squeeze play again. I'm not holding my breath. I think other names, like compare Carvana's chart to AMC's chart, and you tell me which short squeeze name you want to be involved in for some potential moves. I'll take Carvana as a trade over AMC pretty much every day of the week at this point. But earnings week, that is the time that you would want to play it. So I did just get out of Apple. I said if that doesn't work, you know what probably is going to work, which is a pullback over there on Amazon. But let's get on over to Adara for a little afternoon sector watch.
Yeah, we are going to be talking about some of these names that made big moves that maybe we didn't talk about earlier in the day. Also worth noting as well, if you're involved in Occidental, the CEO is currently speaking on CNBC. But there are some other energy-adjacent names moving today, notably CEG, that's Constellation Energy, up more than 16% and set for its best close since July 2022, and actually reported a massive EPS miss here, so a loss per share versus almost $2 earnings per share expected, but they did present much higher than expected guidance. So mixed look and massive upside move for Constellation Energy. We also have Micron to the upside here after Samsung putting some of its AI into its new Galaxy S24 series phone. So nice look for MU. And last but not least, AutoZone. This is an earnings name here as well. Pretty massive EPS beat here and a bit of a sales beat as well for AZO. Lots of these outsized moves on the SPY, guys.
Going, I'm going to be covering some. Look, my long play in energy is actually in Chevron, but I took the Buffett trade on Occidental recently with the intention of getting out in the mid 60s. So it's about to. I mean, it hasn't broke yet, so knock on wood. It's at the 200 period and the 61 break. I think that in a couple of weeks can get you back up into those mid 60s, which. It was taking way too long. I like Chevron a little bit better, so I'll probably hang on to that one. But guess what just took out the high? Cannot say this enough. Oh, SoFi is definitely not on the OTC. Sorry about that. Guess what just took out that fresh high? SoFi up again. If you don't like the 200 period moving average, then you don't have to have it up. But I love what this is doing off the $8 level. I think this gets back to like 10, 10 and a half right quick. Nice little breakout, breaking the 200 and one day, and then breaking the 50 period the next for SoFi, another fresh high. So if you're in this one for today, I don't know that there was any news here. It just seems like it was a bit of a technical breakout carrying through right into 915. Short Amazon just took a profit taker, but that's working. Alphabet, however, is still going sideways here as the market's pulling back in. So Amazon probably the better short of the two. I mean, Google's up almost 1%, so I think it goes without saying.
We're 50 cents now in the money on Microsoft, and we've already taken out half. So I actually took out 45%. Right down here, 450 cents. I think our best fill was 44. Yeah, we have a 44. That's where it is now, 44 fill. And, you know, I was having faith in these trades. So there's NVIDIA, downside push. Let's see if it's going, man. We are going to have Obi on the show today. And again, big congratulations as Obi's still in the lead right now for the office. So big congratulations to Obi. We'll talk to him later about that. And that's what it's all about here at Trader TV Live and Real Trading, guys. Grab your office today. But guess who's catching him? We're getting close, Obi. Right now, Oracle, nice move to the downside here. Again, coming through. So we'll see if that happens for us. We do have Microsoft to the downside, and we have NVIDIA, and then ARM. ARM right now, look at what ARM's doing, man. This is a good one coming through. So 137, looking at this level right here for ARM. I don't have any bids, but you know, if we break it, then we'll see. I'm gonna look for maybe a 135 or so on that one. We probably got that number. I was away getting some water. 126 to buy, so it's a nothing burger right there for that. So we'll watch out for that one. We would be having a little bit of a higher net if this MSOS actually made some sense. It looks like it's trying to break lower rate here. So we're gonna have to get out of this one as there is nothing happening on the ETF that is marijuana. So we'll have to wait for MSOS to do something. Again, a nothing burger story in my ear. We tried the long, basically bought the top there, but it's not doing anything. We're down now 5 cents. MSOS, try to break a little bit lower. We'll punch out just a couple more pennies lower and we're out of this one. We could punch out now. Maybe we'll just sit at 99 and take the out. Not looking great here, MSOS.
Yeah, there was a small thing on Microsoft. It doesn't seem like it's moving. It's down a little bit, but the market just pulled back, so this could be nothing. EU probing security software practices, but that move probably more to do with the NASDAQ pulling back than anything else. So as I said, Amazon, working on the reload. We had it up at VWAP. We added to it back underneath. We're all out of the VWAP trade at this point, and now only holding the reload. And this works for this is for both when you see our positions down here, and if you're watching on more Trader TV, just understand that if you get in at one price and then add to it at a different one, it's always going to do this first in, first out. So, you know, until I'm all out of these shares, it's gonna. it's essentially going to show a blended price. But once you're out altogether, you're still going to be working with that lower one. So even though I probably had an average in the middle, at some point it's just going to reflect the latest shares that you got into. So check that one out on More Trader TV. Pretty much all day long, you're able to check that dashboard, which is fantastic. And if there's any issues, we'll kind of give you updates. We have some notes in there as well. Market pulled back and bounced off 18,000 again. Don't know what to tell you. You're still bouncing off that 18,000. I'll stick a fork in. It's now too tight to 350 for Unity to make another breakout. I don't want to say never, but this has been holding 3080 to 31 for now 30 minutes. So the next trade might be another day, for lack of a better term. If it's just going sideways, this has been a good one this afternoon for longs, but it's really running out of steam here. Google's still going sideways as well. But not like Amazon's pulling back with the market, but Google kind of cresting. Suddenly Alphabet looks a little bit bullish, which is good. I recently bought some in my long-term account, but not good for the short-term short. I was long into this and decided to flip the script on on Google. Might have been the wrong call. Could have just put more into that Amazon trade. Is what it is, but until it breaks out this local top, there's really nothing to do. I'm in here in the middle of the consolidation. If it breaks this top at 85, I'm out. Either it runs the stop or it doesn't.
Yeah, that EU news is not really doing anything to Microsoft. When you mentioned that, I was like, okay, maybe it's going to be good for us, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oracle, though, is doing things. We talked about looking for a big trade. We found it in a couple places. We found it with NVIDIA down there again to 789. That's a good one. We found it with ARM breaking through 138. That's been a good one to hold as well. But yeah, we're starting to, I'm just going to punch out. We punch out of, okay, you know what? We punch out of some of that MSOS here. I'm just going to punch out of the rest of this MSOS. Nothing really happening. Oops, I'm not even on that screen, am I? There it is. So MSOS, we take that 98 out. Now we'll wait to see about getting filled here. I punched out 97, but okay, that's that. So we're going to wait for it. Microsoft, is it finally starting to get going here? Maybe, but not, not moving around a whole bunch right now is Microsoft, but we are bidding it. So maybe if it comes in, I'm bidding 406.11s or so. We'll see if we can get something on that. Doesn't look like it's moving around too much, but if Microsoft does make a move in with the NASDAQ, then that's good for me. And we'll wait to see as we just continue to be short. We've been short all afternoon. We've added ARM to our plate. Just recently, we've added Microsoft. So here's a push. Nicely done. So we were short initially on that break right there at 406.50. So here we go. Let's see if it gets a little bit ramped up now with Mr. Softy back in the building. This has been one of our favorites for a very long time. We'll see if we can get it again. We just punched some out at 30. We're bidding in the low teens right now for Microsoft. Maybe this thing pukes all over itself.
Yeah, I think it might. Maybe a delayed reaction to the news. Who knows? Either way. Chris Hams, why is Tesla down with the Apple news? We kind of went over this. I would tend to agree, logically speaking, it would be a long. And I was looking for a long myself, but if it doesn't set up, you don't have to take it. Sometimes the best trade is not to get married to some kind of a fundamental idea. Because if the price action is telling you something else, it doesn't matter what the hell I think. If I think that Apple pulling out of potentially competition for Tesla down the road in the short term, if I think that's good for Tesla, what difference does it make if it's making lower highs and lower lows? It's trending down this afternoon, and it never held the 200 on the dip. So without holding that, I'm not going to fight it. I think if you try to over-explain things, you'll get yourself into trouble. It's good to have an idea, but if the price action doesn't confirm your idea, you just got to move on. I like the shorts. It was a lower high in Google. I was long pretty much the afternoon, 2 longs in Google. It got up to the highs. I jumped into the short. It broke my stop. I'm getting out. Don't care about why. Market pulled back. Apple pulled back. Microsoft pulled back. Amazon pulled back. Probably a couple of things that I'm forgetting pulled back. And Google broke out here. So don't want to throw away what we made on the long. Looks like Alphabet is suddenly in the strong bucket. It's up 1%. It's under the 50-period moving average, but maybe it's just made a bit of a double bottom here. Maybe that's all it is. Yesterday and today. If it can make a break of the 140, this could be a little bit of a relief rally potential for Google. It's the first time you've been able to say it's relatively strong compared to some of its peers, which can be a good thing. It's not a good thing for that last short. Sometimes you should just stick to one direction on the stock, not the group. But if you like, I like to have names that I like long, names that I like short, kind of switched up there with Alphabet. And I think that's a bit of a fail because I could have just done more Amazon shorting in its stead.
Oracle is trying to push down a little bit here right now. As I'm losing a little bit of steam myself. I was just saying, hopefully I'm not feeling under the weather here today, because I have to be here tomorrow, obviously, as Neil will be off and Obi will be in. So that'll be fun. We'll do that right there. Enjoy the karate. One of my sons was in karate. He liked that for a while. Baxter was in Taekwondo, and Barron was doing it.
Yeah, it was Barron that was doing it.
Yeah, he really liked it. But
see, I don't know if she's gonna. I think she's gonna ask to do it more permanently, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
I always wanted to do a martial art as a kid, and my dad was pretty. He really didn't like it. When I asked him to do boxing, he also told me the same thing. He's like, my son's not going into boxing. And like when a West Indian dad gives you a certain voice, I just kind of like, okay, like whatever. I love boxing, but it is what it is.
Okay. Yeah, boxing's a good one there. We had Baxter was into boxing as well. Okay, so 117, 118, we'll see. Oracle is breaking down, so we'll watch out for that. I still do have those low bids there. I'm trying to find other names to trade, guys. I mean, into tonight, we have First Solar. Roblox at these levels are interesting, in and around $40, but right now, again, not really doing a whole bunch. We want stocks that are moving around. We did look at Uber before. We had talked about a break there of 20. That, we should have been long there, I guess. That would be 30, 40 cents, just kind of like drifting, back up to the upside rate. Now that's Uber. All right, yeah, karate. Oh, yeah, SoFi. That's one thing we could look at. We actually did well on Palantir today, and that's been a nice upside move. And yeah, SoFi, I don't know if we ever got what the news was, but
there wasn't any.
There wasn't any. Okay, well, then this is a huge short, but we'll wait. Anyways, nice move there for SoFi right here up to that's not pre-market. No, let's just zoom this out a little bit here. So so it's just this high. This is probably a decent short right here, right now. If you think the market's going to pull back, I'm already 4 short right now, but I could go with that. I could mess with that. UNH has a antitrust investigation right now into it, as UNH right here.
Let them. I'm buying dips.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, there it is right down there into 517, 516 for UNH, as that name's getting hit right now.
Just to give it, not in the day trading kind, I should clarify that. I'm not sitting on the bid right now or anything. But the last time UNH had bad news was right here in January, and it's one of the things that I picked up. I picked it up off the 4E level. I said, gimme, all I could get. So I bought that there. If it bounces off the 200 period moving average, then I like you some more. This was the stock that when I took some profits on Eli Lilly, this is where I put it, was into UNH, just to get more of a stable play. Let's go to the desk and handle some business.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and 0 commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
All right. Of course, a big down name. So there for UNH. So, nice little move downside. You could see here as well on DIAs. Where there it is right there. Sorry, AM. So this is the diamonds. The Dow Jones is at all-time highs right now. No, I mean, as of the last couple of days, we got an introduction of Amazon. Welcome to the Dow. So Walgreens out, Amazon in. And UNH.
Can I put a gun to your head, pick one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to sell 25% of the SPY and put that money in another index, IWM or the Dow.
Dow. I'm never buying IWM, honestly. A third of IWM are unprofitable.
Yeah, I think that's, okay, well, here's the thing.
I just like blue chips so much more.
There are situations that I would like IWM, but I think most of those would involve swing trading it, personally. I was just curious. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, no, that's a good question.
We bag on the Dow, but I promise you, sometimes if you had to buy that or put money into something else, a lot of times you might pick that Dow.
I feel like I almost own almost every single company in the Dow. So that's why I feel like I should sell everything and just go into
I have
an ETF.
You don't own them all.
I'm so stupid. I own many of them, but that just goes back to
I believe Adara?
Yeah, what's up?
Microvision getting a big volume pop here at the end of the day. This one, not seeing any news on this. It does report aftermarket close tomorrow. It has a short float of about 26.3%. So not a significant short float here for MVIS, guys.
Microvision. I wonder if people have it confused with MicroStrategy and buy it up. No, I'm just kidding. That kind of thing has happened in the past, but not necessarily. I always say this for these types of names, squeeze names. Squeezes have to break shorts. And to break shorts, you need to break levels. $2.70, $3, $2.50 is psychological for microvision. Good start whenever it takes out a high of the day. But like I said with Nikola, like I get excited on these plays when they start breaking real levels. Like maybe Nikola gets above 78 and presses an 85 level. Everyone was yelling about Nikola today. Look what this did. 70, wow, no wonder. 77 to 71, and then today 71 to 77, or 76. Close enough, man. That's not bad at all. It's almost 350, so we're gonna go back to Adara, but I'm now tightening my trailing stop on Amazon. It's the last short that I have left, and we're about to get the imbalances coming out, so it's time to start getting out of position. Let's go back to the desk once again with Adara.
Yeah, really quick here. United Health just dropped. We're now down 2.5%. Wall Street Journal reporting that the Justice Department has launched an antitrust investigation into UNH, explaining this massive drop here right into the close, guys.
Yeah, so we were just talking about that right there. So thanks for that update on what it is, man. Antitrust right there. Thank you, Adara, for that update on UNH. We'll continue to watch out for it. I actually wasn't even paying attention to the time there, so I punched out of ARM. It's $2. It's
yeah, you gotta take it.
So we'll take the $2 on ARM right there. Yeah, we'll ring the Reggie on that one. We are also ringing Reggie on Oracle, as Oracle's, it was a real nice one as well. That's a poulet dinner right there. So we'll see if that goes to the downside. We do have a nice move up right here on Microsoft if that breaks through 407. I guess antitrust doesn't really matter to Microsoft as that was a report, but
They're a monopoly in everything.
Maybe there's nothing there. UNH is going to bounce. So
I like it's not going to get to the 480s. I like anything under 500 going into the 200 period on UNH.
AMC, no, don't even tell me. I'll
AMC
go.
reports tomorrow after the bell.
Okay, so
if
that
you
could
think,
be a reason.
well, I don't want to throw shade on.
There goes Microsoft. So
I just got trailed out. 350 hit, of course. I just got trailed out of.
Okay,
I'm trailed out of Amazon at 350 on the imbalances. We don't have the overall number yet, but CLH. That's the only thing over $1 million is CLH 1.5. That's it. AMC is an 800,000 buy. That's not a heck of a lot today.
No,
on the
there's
imbalances.
not too much. There's not too much. All right, well, we can get out of Oracle here. I mean, there's really not much happening. I'm just going to punch out of Oracle. Start to cancel some of these stop orders as we go upside right now. NVIDIA has made moves down, but now it looks like it wants to go back up. So not much happening there. We should have taken that $3 down there at 789, 788. That was the best we could have got, 788.50 like, but we didn't. So it looks like it wants to go back up. Should we hold this for 791.50? All right. I mean, we're not too far away now. I'm just going to cancel basically.
Forget it.
All of these orders now, just get everything canceled so I don't have anything pending, and just go 791.51 or so break. So okay.
You know what a guy said to me?
Falls back down.
One of the full-timers when I was a trainee. I don't remember exactly who it was. It might have been Joe Niki. It might have been somebody else. One of your boys.
Yeah.
He used to say, like, it wasn't set it or forget it, but it was on the lines of if you had a reason to get into trade and it's working in the money, and you hasn't given you a reason to get out, then what? You just hold on to the trade. It's like, okay, if it's doing nothing, that's fine if it's in the money. There's nothing wrong with something doing nothing if it's in the money. If something's doing nothing and you're getting into it, that's a problem. But if it's doing nothing while it's in the money, what do you care? It's working for you at that point. I might be saying that a little bit wrong, but it was.
Yeah, you got to let stocks breathe, maybe.
Yeah, it was essentially that, and it was just one of the things. When I say full-timers, I was a trainee at the time, like 20 years ago, and some of the guys on the floor used to say these like little isms, short the pops in the trend, to remind himself to short pops. I'm now out. Obi's going to be filling in for me tomorrow, but I promise you, he'll have Amazon in his sights. I'm looking at Amazon as underneath the 175 a short, because it feels like it failed the breakout and is coming back in here. So Amazon's been an absolute bull, but it just tried to break out the top, so double top, and looks like it's day 2 of a pullback, which could take you to the 170 level. We'll see what happens, but 7 minutes to go. Wait a minute, I'm not, position board's incorrect. You can see I just got out of Amazon, so I'm now flat.
Microsoft, ARM, NVIDIA.
Yours might be right, but I'm flat. I have no positions on right now.
Our Microsoft NVIDIA, yes. Mine is right. All right, so we did get stopped out of Microsoft, but we just took some money back in on that right there, back to the downside again, hitting that 407, watching out for that stop, which just happened. We're going to get stopped out at that top wick right there. I might as well just get out of NVIDIA. There's nothing happening, as Neil was mentioning there, and we are just going over that. So we're out of Oracle. There's lots happening, but we might as well just take profits where they lie right now instead of just waiting. Okay, NVIDIA is actually pulling back to a nice level here. This is going to be a big banger at the end of the day. I mean, this is $3 right now in the money on NVIDIA to end of the day. So let's go. Let's see how much further we want to go on this name. Hopefully a lot lower in breaking some of these levels. Why not 788? Let's make this a special day here on Amazon, on NVIDIA. Let's see how far we want to pull. Right now it's $3 in the money. Here we go. Starting to make some more movement to the downside goes NVIDIA. Let's see how far it does get going here into that. Nice little level. We'll see if it can hold it. ARM $1.37 as well. Not much happening there, but we'll just have to wait out for it. We're going to move over and get ready for the closing show. But for right now, let's see how far NVIDIA wants to, sorry, that's ARM. Let's see how far NVIDIA wants to go. Still 250 in the money and trying to go lower, man. It's 353. What was that number we got? 1.4 billion to buy. So maybe we do get a little reversal here at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the market didn't care about that buy imbalance. But like that's not an insignificant number. SoFi stalled out there. I mean, it didn't really pull back all that much. Like if you shorted it, fine off the double top, but it doesn't look like it moved all that much. The out, probably a good one on Amazon because it's starting to bounce back into the upside despite everything everything I was saying about it being a short potentially off that failed break. Unity eventually moved. I think I'd be going back to the well on this tomorrow if I was trading, but I won't be trading tomorrow. Obi will be stepping in for me. I love the fact that you have a highly shorted name that probably trapped some shorts, holding above the 30, holding the 31 level, which it's very close to right now, back into support. This could give some squeeze into 34, 35, but it's got to hold on to that $30 level. Worth watching tomorrow. Oscar asking about First Solar earnings. What's the expected move on it? Here, I can double check. Sean's in positions right now. I can.
It's 10.5.
Oh, 10.5%. There you go. First Solar, 10.5%. I don't even have to check. That should be a big one. I mean, again, the solar plays have been getting beaten up lately.
First Solar is a good one, though.
It sets you up. When you've been beaten up into earnings, it can set you up. It's not always about what the actual earnings are. Oftentimes, it is about where the stock is traveling and where the relief rally, or I suppose sell the news, could come in. And for names like First Solar, it would be a relief rally because they've been dogs.
We are really now, we are cooking finally with gas. There goes NVIDIA. Now it's $4 in the money. We're starting to go. So let's see where we can go now. That's 788. We just got that flip over. Nice trade here into the short for NVIDIA. Those bottoms are 786. So let's just put a bid there, 787.05, something like that. You guys wanted the fire. This is what this is right here on NVIDIA. We talked about trying to hold this, so we're trying to do it right now. Nice move in. It's right at VWAP. Maybe we just take this, guys, here into the close. It's been a good short. It's $4 now in the money right there at 88. Okay, now we're starting to go. Let's go. Nice break right here for us. 487. You know what, man? I might just take this out if we can. That's a good break into the close. I don't know. We could just rip the back upside right now into that, but that was a good one. Nice move for NVIDIA. We kind of just held there, that 788. Maybe we are starting to turn back the other way right now. That sucks. We've just put a bid now at 787.73. So that's going to be something. Maybe let's just go to 788. We have already slept on this level once, and we just slept on it again. So let's take some more out here. A good little move at the end of the day on NVDA, but it, again, touch VWAP. Darn it. Should have stayed with that.
Yeah, but still a good move. But I think like VWAP at this time of day, like, you might get bounces because there's not enough time for it to punch through. Lunar's going to end up at the high. Shout out to anybody who was talking about that. I won't be trading it. There's only 3 minutes left to go. Not going to be any new positions, but it is worth mentioning. Doesn't matter that much that it tipped over. They bought the dip on these guys. You land on the moon, and it's apparently good news. I think this has the potential, now that it's bouncing off the $5 level, even going halfway back would be another $3 from here. And that'd be halfway back to the upside, so this should be on everybody's radar going into tomorrow. Can Tesla close above 200? We were trying to say, like, Tesla, brick wall at 200. It made logical sense that this was good news for them, the Apple news, but it doesn't matter. You throw logic out the window and try and pay attention to price action. So I didn't take the long here, and thankfully so, because someone's selling the you-know-what out of this thing at the $200 level. Just look at the price action. Gets to 200, can't break, can't break, can't break, even late in the day. It just can't seem to break. 2 minutes to go in here until we get this close. It's a wild Tuesday, and you've got some big players in terms of expected moves after market. Probably led by First Solar. I don't want to predict they're going to move the highest percentage, but I mean, if I had to put my money somewhere, it would be on First Solar, biggest percentage move. Out of the names at least we'll watch. There's probably a small name out there somewhere that could move more. And then this week you still got AMC. So shout out to all the apes out there that think that's still a big squeeze play. It's not. It's Carvana these days.
I don't know why oh, there it is. We had a problem fetching my blotter. Okay, so there it is right here. Sorry, NVIDIA. We got that out. That's a banger right there, man. That's $4 at the end of the day. So NVIDIA, good little trade there to end with, man. Microsoft trying to pull as well. Down, yeah, let's go, Softy. Nice move back in for Microsoft as we are just hitting rapido fire right now, guys, on this trade. Let's go. See ya, see ya, see ya, see ya. Nice little downside move. I only have a minute left, and I got to go run over to that desk. Not too many earnings, but we will look at First Solar right now, man. This is a good one for us here to end of the day on Softy and on NVIDIA. Like, NVIDIA still has more damage to go here as we're starting to really bleed to the downside right now on NVIDIA. But yeah, man, good day here today. Another day in Greensville. We're happy with it. Hopefully we'll be able to, bring a good show into the close for everybody here today. So Microsoft trying to make some moves here at the end of the day. Congratulations to everybody. Thanks for supporting it, and have a fun time with your daughter tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I know it'll always be fun. I mean, like, you know how it is when you're a proud dad. Like, there's like nothing that can make a bad experience. Like, there's, I know you know all this stuff. But the countdown is on. Get the camera off me. Get it on Adara in 3, 2, 1, and ring it. No, like, it's like my daughter could do like whatever, like the worst karate chop of all time, and I'd probably still think it's going to be fantastic. But you know what's up. The market ends up just barely, the NASDAQ to the upside, 0.2%. I actually just double-checked to make sure this was right, because the ES exactly the same in closing on the high. So basically 0.2 for both those names. We got some earnings after the market tonight. First Solar is going to lead things off here. They closed pretty much just flat. But I want to give a big shout out to Fabian and Ramin on the ones and twos like we always do, making us look and sound fantastic. You got a little Elliott wave theory on Learn to Trade with both Adara and Sharif. So we all got to learn something there if you're not familiar with that. That's going to be the theme. It's going to be a little bit of market theory this week. Great opportunity as always to advance your trading with a little bit of learning. There's always more that you can do to advance your knowledge when it comes to trading the markets. Shout out to Brendan, as always, doing a fantastic job on the desk. And Adara in the afternoons on the news desk, doing double duty. Can't say enough about that. I'm going to give a special thanks to Obi, not just for filling in for me today, but he's also going to be making a guest appearance on the aftermarket show, which you guys are headed to. How's about now-ish?
Yeah, how about now-ish as we get ready for some of these trades to come through. Thanks, Neil. We are very excited for this today. Thank you for everybody joining us. We will do a roll call coming up very, very soon. So thank you so much to everybody. We're here and we're ready to go. I still have to log in to my platform, but that's all good. All right, we do have coming through today. We are sponsored by Benzinga. So anything that comes out soon, we'll have that right now. We do have it in our ear. So getting ready to rock and roll. Exxon. No, that's someone saying Exxon in my ear. That's not right. AXON, Axelon, I guess. Okay, so we're going to look for First Solar here to come out very, very soon. We're going to adjust this over to a 1 minute. There it is, First Solar. Nice move to the upside. When we get all this stuff, we will make sure we broadcast it to you. Bitcoin having itself another day today. Huge move to the upside there. I'm going to take this out of my hair. We don't need it. Bitcoin up 5 today. UNG battling back, but I mean, this name just continues to be pretty beat up there. We had XRT yesterday. We had Michael Noss on, and we were talking about the healthcare sector and biotech. Look at XBI today. Nice 5.5% move to the upside. We just talked about this yesterday on the market recap show as XBI. Looky what we see here. We talked about XLV. We gave that to you on the podcast at the beginning of the year, sorry. This is the XBI right here, taking out some of these levels, 94, looking at the 200, and now a lot of upside. Here's XLV. The call on this one was 136 right there. This break into there. Nice move higher, 140, 146 for some of these healthcare names. We did get a move down, though, a big move down in UNH. So this could be a buying opportunity for some of those healthcare names, right? So as it pulls back down in, definitely have a quick look at that. If you're looking for the Dow Jones names, obviously UNH. I really like the diamonds. Look at this push for DIA. Huge upside move right there. And again, thank you to everybody. I'll keep this up. If anything is going on, oh yeah, AXON, that is right. They are that body camera company. So nice move to the upside there, 280. AXON, look at these guys on the weekly. That's what I heard in my ear. Axon, not Exxon. Nice move to the upside right there for all of that. Big movers today, including CEG, Constellation Energy, with that deal there going through. Nice little move upside on Constellation's earnings. Full year forecast guide higher between $7.23 and $8 versus 6. So CEG, huge move up right there today, breaking through on the weekly. We'll go over to a daily chart to check out CEG. Boom, there it goes. Huge move for them today on the 1 minute chart, finishing at the day's high. So we really like that. What was red today? Okay, TLT. Look, the NASDAQ was just one of those days today, kind of flat. It's Hydration Nation. Get locked and loaded with me here. What now, Ramin? Okay, 437 coming through, 437 and change right there on the Qs. We'll see if it can wind up holding to that one. Still waiting for some earnings to come out. We do have trade ideas here. So here's the platform. Oh, lemonade, lemonade. Your tasty, refreshing drink. Lemonade, making some moves around now as well, as we've talked a little bit about that. I didn't see them. Did they already report maybe yesterday? But a nice move up there today on Lemonade. No, post-market Feb 27. So I don't have the report yet for LMND. And again, we will continue to watch out for Benzinga here. Oh, Coupang. Okay, I remember Coupang, a little Chinese, or is it maybe Korean CPNG here for a nice move? Wow, Coupang, nice upside move there. Let's go find out what's up with that on Coupang. So again, 8 cents beating 6, 660 beating 644. Nice one right there. Mankind, I remember those guys there. I think that was Cancer at one point there. Beats as well, MNKD. I think it's a little penny stock to go right now. So we'll stay here again. Thank you so much for joining. Everybody that's with us here today, over 3,500. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe, and thank you for tuning in with us. We do have Obi coming out soon for us. He'll be going over some names he's looking at, what's been working for him lately, and some different ideas. We welcome Obi to the big show coming up very, very soon. A name that's been in a little bit of trouble, Uranium. Nice pullback in again. This could be bought down here. Again, alternative energy. Lithium, LIT, another good one here. I was saying I wasn't feeling so good. I think it's just my... I need to take just more water right here today. It's kind of, oh, you know what the problem is? It's really dreary outside. It's all dark and raining and all that, so it's probably what the problem is. More water as we go. Right, more rain, more thirsty. You know what I mean? That's more, right, that's right, Ramin, very good. Okay, so nice move there. OIH with oil services, nice move there. And by the way, we could sit here and talk about Bitcoin all we want. I mean, Bitcoin's a nice move. We actually stamped this buy down here on the podcast. I really like this breakthrough 30. So it's only up 10% from here, 32.50. You could still buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 57,000 right now and dancing around. Here's a live look on BTC. Maybe let's make this a little bit of a bigger screen here and we'll look at this live on the show. So here we go, man, a 1 hour chart. Obviously, it's been a monster here today, right? 51,000 was that bottom back on the 26th. So we were just here not too long ago. Talk about a move into the weekend. I mean, this move happened yesterday morning as we just took off all the way to the upside. I can't really think of anything. We have halving coming on. We are going to have the crypto burb coming through next week live on this show. And I'm going to be like, what's up with that? All right, First Solar, and I'm going to talk to him about the halving and anything like that that we want to know about as far as crypto is concerned. And who better than that? I don't know. First Solar right now, they are out and moving around. Are they out? Yeah, here it is. So Benzinga does have First Solar out. I got to be careful about reporting some of this because last week with Carvana, it was like it was out, it wasn't out. There was another name that day. It might have been Roku that we were kind of like, is it out, is it not out? We had to double check the source and make sure that did come out. But here's First Solar right now. Nice gap. So the gap EPS, 325 versus 318. That's a win right there, bang. But then they miss on sales, it looks like. 116 versus 132. Actually a decent miss by First Solar right there. But then they're seeing their forward look, 13 to 14 versus 13.33. This seems pretty mixed for FSLR. So right now, not much happening for them. Another big name that we're looking at. Here's eBay. Let's look at this together. EPS beat 107 versus 103. That's a good one. Bang for eBay. Also sales. Oh, by the way, I was able to convince the wife. I was like, am I getting hungry or what? And then where does my mind go? Guess what's happening today? It's Taco Tuesday in the Katina house. So my wife, Marissa, yes, more of that. My wife, Marissa, is taking Gia, my daughter, to hockey again, another 2 hours. We got to miss it. We're doing this all good. She's taking the kid. I'm preparing tacos. It's a Sean Katina special tonight. It's Taco Tuesday in the household. All is welcome or all is not. I don't know how much food we have. Okay, there it is right now. EPS 119 versus 123, beating 113. I'm going to say eBay's up. Let's check it out right now together. What is eBay doing? First look right now on eBay. Oh, hell yeah, they say. eBay up to 48. I feel like 50 is what we want to look at. Is there enough juice in this name to take out 50? eBay right now on the short float. eBay short float only 5. Tasty treat, that is water. Right now, nice move up for eBay. So a nice little look there. I'm going to, when we get Obi up here, I'm going to log in. So we'll talk more about my trades and some of that stuff that we were talking about here today. Let's go over some sectors. XLF, look, the financials continue to work out. We had some big news from JP Morgan. Apparently JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon don't see that tornado or that hurricane ahead in the market as we are now above. You remember when Jamie Dimon was like, oh, there's some sort of I forget what he said. He used some kind of a weather terminology, that there was like a storm brewing in that market. Well, since then, man, XLF, and look at his stock, JP Morgan, nice little upside move as, I feel like this is falling down. There we go. Upside move for JP Morgan, taking out highs right now. What a good name that's been. You know what? What about Berkshire here. Nice little pullback into 407. I was actually looking at this. We can break down what's in the diamonds, but honestly, Berkshire with a nice little pullback in. I actually have on trade ideas here. Oh no, did I close it? I have an ETF watch list that if I can find the diamonds on there, I'll be able to open it up and we'll be able to talk about the constituents. But that makes me think about some tweets that we did have today, including some pretty decent ones. One thing that I wanted to show was Neil asked me a question, and I hope I tweeted this out earlier. It was right here. So Neil asked me about this, right? What's up, Gunjan? I don't know when she's coming on. She could phone me on my phone and talk to me about AMC and Bed Bath and Beyond. I talked to her on my way home one day. She wanted some quotes, and then we got to get her back on. We got to get her on the show right now, working for Wall Street Journal. What's up, Gunjan? Right there. 1 out of every 3 names in the Russell is unprofitable. So for me, Neil asked me about IWM versus the diamonds, which is Dow Jones. I think IWM, again, look, unprofitable names. have upside, right? There's going to be a point where some of these names get going. You can see Zoom, things like that, making some moves back up to the upside. It's just how patient do we have to be? IWM already pushing these highs. You got to break above this 206. Look, forget about what the constituents are, honestly. Its price isn't going to lie. Here's that 205 level. We bounced our head off of that back in July. We just touched it right now back at the end of the year. This is a weekly chart, and we're doing it right now. If we get a break in the IWM to the upside, then I do feel like 229 incoming. That's 10%, and then maybe those highs. I much prefer we've already talked about XLV. We much prefer that, and then I'll beat down name a little bit on the biotech, looking at Moderna, looking at some of those names. The IBB on a downside push there, looking a little bit better. But then when we look at the Dow Jones, the diamond's well off. But there's that break, right? So again, if you're taking things on breaks and on strength, then you do have some nice possibility for more upside. This is real estate, isn't it? So again, another beatdown name as mortgage rates continue to push highs. We're looking at 7-8% here for 30-year mortgages coming out. That's going to be too expensive for anybody in real estate. You do get a nice move back up to the upside on, again, this is that bottom in October when everyone thought Fed rate cuts were going to happen in March. We already stamped that no. We had, actually, you know what? I could have had Raider Trader on. Let's get Raider Trader on next week. He called a collapse, not a collapse, but a push down in the market late January into February. We're now late February and not getting that pushback. I feel like a lot of this right here, real estate, not having the pullback that I would have thought it would have based on that rate talk. So a nice little downside mush here for real estate is what I'm expecting. Look to pick something up, honestly, $76, $77. I actually like that. The solar ETF coming through again here today as we wait for some more earnings calls. We had Splunk, SPLK, coming through today as well. So I don't know if that's out. It doesn't really look like we're doing too much on Splunk. Let's just double check Benzinga to see if anything's going as we have Obi getting ready to rock and roll here, 4:15. That should be good. We'll talk to Obi in a couple minutes. So yeah, I don't see anything from Splunk yet. Rocket Labs, they reported RKLB. So let's look at that. RKLB, Rocket Labs coming through on a weekly. Nice little downside push there. Again, pretty dead there on that. So we'll wait to see for that. Spiders, look at this, man. What a monster move. You're going to talk about this one here. You're going to talk about a move up. Look at this, 2 red weeks, and you can't even find them right here. See if we can zoom in a little bit. There it is, 1 red week there in the SPY, another one, and then that red week was followed by one of the bigger green weeks that we've had. So people are buying up these names here in the SPY and continue to go. For me, a really interesting name continues to be the Chinese ETFs. We had a nice push up in BABA over the last couple of days. Some late news on Billy, but let's zoom back out a little bit here. Above the 50 period, breaking above $25 again. That would be pretty important here for FXI. A recent position in my long-term account, shout out to our friend Mateo. I know Obi knows Mateo, of course, in the back. And we talked about Alibaba, man. I went over to his desk. We were talking about it, and I actually put the buy order right there when I was with him, because if we're not buying anything when we're on the show. So midday one day, we went in and bought this name down at 72 bucks. Since then, it's really worked out nicely. Up to 80 is what we're looking to break through on Alibaba. I really like this name. Again, another podcast name that we talked about. Why do we like Alibaba? A nice buyback, one of the largest ones there for Chinese names. Basically in the same feel as AWS. Now they're talking about cloud. They obviously have the retail side with Singles Day and Alibaba there, the Amazon of China as it continues to go. Nice shirt, Ramin, as her and I are twinsies here today, but it looks a hell of a lot better on her than your boy over here. Oh yeah, by the way, right here, I'm gonna show you this. This was funny. I kind of got in a little bit of trouble from both Ramin and more about Fabian, because they made this. What do you think about this, Obi?
That is
I love blue chips.
I like that.
Did you paint that, or you found a picture of blue chips? Oh, he made it blue. Forgot there's AI now.
It's Photoshop.
That's mad skill, actually, they're saying right now as that. So I love blue chips. Maybe we will. We could tweet that out. I think that's a pretty cool picture there. Okay, whenever we are ready. Are you ready, Obi? Is your mic ready to go?
I think so, yeah.
He is ready. Okay, Obi, welcome to, oh, here we go. First of all, proper introduction. No, back to me. Proper introduction. It's Trader Talk, baby. Let's go. We're going to this one over here? All right. Hey, Obi.
How are you?
Not too bad. I just found out about 20 minutes ago that you'll be joining me tomorrow.
Yes.
So that should be fun.
Yeah.
So we'll have some fun tomorrow on the big show, of course. But it's your first time? I think you've been on this show with me before, the Market Recap Show.
I think I have, yes. Yeah.
Okay, a big shout out to you. I keep saying it every day on the show. Part of it is because we're on a trading floor. The show's sponsored by Real Trading, and you are one of the prop traders with Real Trading. So brief little introduction. You've been trading now a year and a half or so.
Yeah, it's, I think this, at the end of this month, which is like by the end of this week, I think this is month number 18.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great.
So a little bit.
Yeah, having some good
little chunk of
success
time,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah, a little bit. And let's talk about that. So it's a good journey right now. You're sitting beside Max.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice. How's that been?
Oh, it's a blessing.
Yeah?
It's great. Yeah. I get to, I have a more experienced trader right beside me, kind of to bounce ideas off of and kind of bump heads with. It's really insightful, and yeah, there's definitely a lot of value in that. I'm really appreciative of Max as well.
Look at this,
He's
guys,
a
the
great guy.
double shot here. I like this. The reason why I say that is because I feel like that's a huge advantage, Obi, when we're talking about being on a prop floor.
Yeah.
Is we talk about that all the time, and Dara shouts it out. She shouts you out, Sharif, myself, Neil, Brendo, all that, because learning from as many people as possible.
Right.
Definitely. Like Neil could be a rebate trader or a little conservative. I'm maybe a little more aggressive. You're somewhere in between. Max's might be the other side, so on and so forth. So we all have different styles, and that's what it's all about is learning. So the chat really appreciating Obi on here, and I want to thank Obi personally. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for doing it, first of all. And the reason why I wanted to do this today with you is I'm shouting you out. I'm noticing we won't talk about any numbers or anything specifically like that. You've been having some good days recently. Any charts you want to go over? Anything that you're looking at that you're comfortable about talking? Because tomorrow you're on the big show. So we're going to be talking about live trades with Obi. But what's been looking at the last little bit? Let's go. You have some screens.
Yeah,
up.
sure. I have again, good trades, bad trades. The market is it has some volatility. We saw the VIX spike up to above 15 a couple of weeks ago. So like I've been saying this, I'm just a participant in the market here, and the market is giving some decent opportunities for sure. But yeah, no, today I was looking at Apple, and definitely going to be on watch for tomorrow. I have it up here, kind of here on Trade Ideas, as well as some on the different app there as well.
Problem,
but this move just happened intraday. This was absolutely wild.
Was that wild?
Kind of saw this happen. Shout out to Sharif. I wasn't even looking at Apple, and he goes, whoa, Apple. I look over, and I'm like, oh damn, that 180. I like that 180. There's like if you look left on the chart, that 180 area has been a little bit of an interesting price, and it just slams into 180, insta rebid.
Wasn't that ridiculous?
That was absolutely
How many
beautiful.
rebids? It feels like there was a lot of rebids there.
It was beautiful. It was just like instantly, you just saw it from the corner of my eye. I'm like, holy, I need to be watching this right now. I have no idea what the news is.
Were you involved in it at all?
Yeah, I did participate in it. It definitely could have been much better, but that's again, it's a work in progress. Like you said, it's a journey for sure. But yeah, it got all the way and pushed past 183. But yeah, what I wanted to point out here, roughly, if
let's go.
Just gonna reload this page real quick. Yeah, take a look at this hourly chart on the Apple right here, and how does that 180 come in? There's only one reason why I was really interested in this 180. All year, whenever price kind of comes into this 180, we've just been getting a pretty strong, even off of earnings. You test those prices, strong quadunk off of earnings does like a little bit of a double bottom here. So it's kind of holding up onto this 180, and then all of a sudden you get this intraday news. You slam into it, insta rebid. Somebody's probably sitting there. I have no idea, but I really like that price action, and it happened to follow through. So we got a little lucky with that with the move, kind of back up into those 80. So definitely going to be on watch for tomorrow. Let's see what it has in store. We know that Apple's kind of been lagging behind in the whole AI game.
I was going to say, so do you feel like now we can flip over the longs?
Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea, but like it'll definitely be on watch tomorrow, because I know for a fact that a lot of other people will be thinking that as well. Might be bringing in some volume.
Obi, if you're on the show with me tomorrow, then yeah, we'll be trading Apple. So even here today,
maybe.
Yeah, even here today, we were into Apple a little bit here, just off that news, just like Obi mentioned. Come over to my screen quickly. The Fabster, right there. Oh, not bad. There's the short right there. We waited for it to rip up. Then we actually flipped over to the long Obi and took some out there at 183.20. So long there, 181.70 for $2 or so. Nice up, or $1.50, nice upside there. And we closed near the high of the day. I mean, that's pretty close to me, up there at 184. So a good little look. One name that you and I actually, we went back and forth on this. I came in one day and I was like, hey, I really want a short ARB. And Obi was like, I'm looking really for the long on ARB. And I feel like we've really done well shorting it recently into some of this pressure every single day. But it has had a lot of opportunities both ways on ARM. And so that's what I wanted to say, is that there are many different ways to play a trade. And I know ARM does have that float issue, not a short float, but just lack of shares out there. I know you must be excited for that March 12th, is when we've sort of extrapolated that lockout period.
Yeah, definitely. I think that March 12th is going to be interesting, and even the build up into it has been interesting as well. I was talking to you about it, I think last week. I was like, this is a classic liquidity trap in a sense, where you do like a high volume pop, you fail to follow through. We saw how it acted. What was it? 133s, just in and around right here after earnings there, right there. So you can't really break below some of these prices, and it just kind of continues, kind of melts up a little bit there. But anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it definitely is not breaking down, is what I'm trying to say. And that to me is kind of interesting as well. And yeah, building into that March 12th price, the share release, right? They're going to be open to sell those shares 90% apparently. That'll definitely be interesting to see what kind of price action that entails. But like, I don't know, do they normally just like be like, okay, we got 90% of the float? They would, no, you know?
No, so when you own a certain amount of that, they're going to have to like file for whatever they're going to try to sell at some point. I don't know. I'm going to look into that. That's a good question. Let's do some research.
Yeah, I'm curious to know like what the rules behind that are, because like I don't know.
So I've been doing, I don't know either. We'll find out. I'm sure it's been filed. All you do is 180 days after the IPO or the direct list is when you're able to sell. Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly how much, and I don't think it would be a very good move. There has to be a strategic move here where if they go in there and they sell, I mean, they could drive that thing down to 70, 80 bucks. There's a couple of stories that happened in, remember there was that super rich guy in the retail side of things in India? I forget his name. I think it was a cosmetic company. I'll have to look it up. It's a well-known story where basically his wealth was the whole stock. And then they realized that, and the only way for him to get out was to sell everything. Right. So he was like paying people off in shares. People in the chat would probably know who this is. Paying off suppliers and all that with shares, but then no one was selling it, so it was kind of just inflating the price there. And then boom, they dropped it.
Oh, you're talking about the whole Adani debacle?
Is that what it is?
That whole thing that happened? Yeah. That was some beautiful selling.
Yeah,
boy.
So they'll have to. They'll have to hold out on that with ARM coming through. Hopefully they don't do too much of that. So I've done a walk and talk thing here where we go out there, we talk a little bit about our day, we post on Instagram. It's like 30 seconds long, 30, 40 seconds long. And today, if you come over to my screen, Coinbase.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how good today was that move up there into 210? Coinbase absolutely ripping. And what I talked about there, Obi, was again, we haven't traded Coinbase in probably a month or maybe more. I don't know. Maybe it's not that much. But I wrote it down here, and I wrote Coinbase, wow, and I even put it down here. What a move there in crypto that we wanted to watch 58K. I thought that was relatively high watermark there. So once we came in, we kept on touching out. We had some nice moves up. We touched 57.5. We wanted to watch out for 58. If 58 kept going, then I wanted to support the long. But if we were going to top out there, I just thought Coinbase had some nice highs. We looked into the pre-market there, and we saw this 210 area. So when it was sort of made a move down, it was like, we were like, oh man, it's at 201, 202. But we sort of stayed disciplined, Obi, put out our 210, and it magically filled in and around there. And then we wound up taking about $8 or $9. And as soon as I mean, how often does this happen to you as well? I mean, it happens to every trader where it's bouncing. We're like, oh yeah, it's gonna, it's gonna boom, boom, boom. And then it was like, oh yeah, it's down to 197. Here we go. Oh, it's going back. And then we punch out, and then womp womp. This happens. We go to the downside. But Coinbase finishes the day in and around $200. Do you often do that where you'll go look at a catalyst and say, hey, I don't really trade this name, but because of the news, like in a crypto or maybe like in Apple tomorrow, will you put in reasonable risk into a name that maybe you're not super familiar with?
So putting on a risk is something that I'm working on right now, but I have started kind of dabbling a little bit more with tickers I'm not normally familiar with. If they have volume, if they have a catalyst, there's a certain checklist. Like if they're doing RVol, they have a catalyst, and it's an in-play name by my definition. Then yeah, I'm more than willing to.
So what does RVol mean? Some of the traders.
Relative volume. So is it doing just relative to what it's been doing in the past few days? Now that you can calculate it differently, you can calculate for a 14 period, you can calculate for a 5 period. It's up to you, but
we're not
is it doing more volume than normal?
We're not gonna let the cat out of the bag here, but are you looking for 20% more, 50% more? Is there a magical number, or you're just looking for action?
No, it's got to be doing at least over 1 minimum.
Right. Okay.
Right? It's like it's doing over average, right?
Right. Okay.
And it's like yeah,
but 20% more if we're talking about it averages 10 million. Would 12 million be fine? Like what?
I think like a 2-3 RVol. Like if you just throw up like an RVol scanner, some tickers will do like thousands of RVol because they barely do any volume.
Right.
All of a sudden, it's doing 2-3 million volume on the scanner. It'll show up as like, oh, this is doing 2,000 RVol. There might be something to see there because there's participants, right? It's like there's fresh participants. The price action is king. It's always going to kind of be there.
What do you make? You have a chart up of Coinbase?
Yes, I do.
What do you make of, look at this into the close here. I'm just noticing this right now. We basically had a pretty strong barcode that whole last hour, 198 into 199.
That's very interesting.
I'm looking at a short there, Obi. If we can watch out for Bitcoin.
Yeah, what
and
does
I
Bitcoin
guess
do?
It's not doing too much in the 1 hour. Well, if we're gonna look at it, let's look at a 15-minute here into the close. So that's probably why. So again, I think we've nailed it here on the show, Obi, where we talked about Coinbase and Bitcoin sort of seem to be tied at the hip a little bit here, with a little bit of a barcode there into the close for crypto. All right, so you talked about Apple a little bit on your radar for tomorrow. Every day, it's traders stay late. We're going to wrap this up. We only have 2 minutes. I want to thank you again for this. We're going to wrap it up. You stay late every day. What are some of the things maybe that you're doing after hours? We don't have to go too crazy into detail.
I'm more than willing to share it.
Okay, so
like, nothing special or anything crazy.
No, I don't.
I'm reviewing the day. I'm taking screenshots of the charts. I'm writing a couple notes. Maybe I'm getting my journal kind of ready. I was journaling here at the office, but I kind of start my journal and then I finish it like on the bus home, and that's why I need those charts, like those screenshots and everything. So I'm preparing for the ride
so you're
home as well.
screenshotting them and then looking at those screenshots on the way home.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so because I'm continuing the whole journaling process. I'm like, this is what I did today, and kind of reliving the trade. I'm putting in reps for the idea that I kind of did. How did I do on it? Kind of blasting myself in my journal, being like, oh, what the hell were you doing here? Like, you can obviously be a little bigger, a little less. Like, just kind of.
Do you have a Trade Ideas account?
I do not.
I'm gonna get you one.
Right, thank you.
Because that way, you know what? Trade Ideas' new web app you can just look at all your charts right on your phone live, look at different times, all of that stuff, and it's really, really great. So there's a promo for Trade Ideas, Mr. Michael Noss. We are now getting one for Obi. You can thank me later. I think that's really great, and then that way you can do all of that. I'm going to get you one of those, Obi, so you deserve that. So again, congratulations on the recent success, and I just want to... Max? Of course. Max, great guy to sit beside. People are saying, wow, this guy gets to sit beside Max. Yeah, I'm a little jealous myself. But people there in the chat saying right now that seems like you're a heck of a lot more confident now than you'd been in the past. Just with everything. I mean, with the way you're looking at charts and everything. I think that's a good thing. Happens with time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't really feel too much of a difference, to be honest.
That's good. That's what you should.
But like, I just think like, I don't know. The market's cyclical, right? Things change, and certain opportunities, they show up and they go away, and that might bring a little bit of more confidence. But again, I can't speak to that. I'm finding, again, in my journaling, I need to be more confident with some of the trades that I'm taking, right? We're talking about like, obviously sizing being an issue, and confidence comes, that comes with confidence, and it comes with a little bit of, just confidence, right?
Yeah. All right,
it's a work in progress.
Sorry about it, but you got to sit beside me tomorrow. So we'll be doing that all day tomorrow as Neil enjoys some time off with the little one. And he'll be back. And then tomorrow's what, Wednesday already?
Yeah.
Anything going tonight? Taco Tuesday, baby. You a taco guy?
I like tacos.
Hard or soft shell?
You know what? Depends on the filling, but I'll go with the hard
All right,
shell.
just beef.
Hard shell.
Beef, normal kind of stuff. A little sprinkle some tomatoes in there, some lettuce.
I'll
you know
go
what I'm
hard
saying?
shell.
I'm gonna get some guacamole going and all of that. So okay, hard
Nice.
shell kind of guy. I said hard shell as well. Let's switch it up. I mean, my kids are always with the soft. Okay, Obi. Always a pleasure, man. We'll be seeing this guy tomorrow. There is the alarm. Look, thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out to Obi for stepping up and in today. A big shout out to Bears versus Bulls. And guess what, though? Obi, we can't be done unless we do one thing, and that is the roll call. So we will have that right now. Thank you so much, Obi, for everything today. And again, thank you to Daryl. Thank you to Monty. And I want to thank everybody in the chat because those comments, I mean, Obi again, yay, Obi. Everybody's loving that. So we'll see if we can get him on a little more regular. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Juan. If you're going to call me handsome, then you're definitely going to get a shout out for that. It's hard sitting beside Obi, though, right there. Thank you to B-Bot right there. Obi, everyone. JJ, Derek Thompson, BJZ, what's up? Roll call is in the building. Hayden, Prenya, Hugh, you see your name there. You know what it's all about. The philanthropist Baker, Howell Capital Trading, Flip, and all of that. A big bang for hard tacos. It's Taco Tuesday. It's Obi. It's Sean. It's Trader TV Live. Me and this guy are here tomorrow at 8:30. Get lots of rest, Obi. It should be a fun one. It may be an apple a day. Does not keep this guy away. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.